Last Raps Baseball is on the air, and tonight we are bringing you the Orix Buffaloes and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks from the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. It is NPB Climax Final Baseball. We'll be right with you in just a couple moments. Ohayou gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. The views and opinions are ours and are not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, or their sponsors. We like to provide live commentary and provide English-speaking audiences around the globe with an opportunity to listen to the games and cheer along with us for all the NPB action. And tonight we are bringing you the final Climax Series game number 1 from the Pacific League, featuring the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Orix Buffaloes. And we're first of all going to give you the lineup for the visitors from Fukuoka, and leading off and playing second base is going to be number 68, Masaki Momori. Hitting second and playing third base is number 23, Yukio Shudo. Hitting third in center field is number 36, Taisi Makihara. In the cleanup spot and playing in right field is number 9, Yuki Yanagita. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 54, Alfredo Despania. Hitting sixth and playing first base is number 7, Akira Nakamura. Batting seventh in at shortstop is number 6, Kenta Imamiya. Hitting eighth in left field is number 32, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. And batting ninth and doing the catching is number 19, Takuya Kai. And they're going to be facing the ace of the Orix staff, and that's going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who takes to the hill with a 15-5 record. He worked 193 innings this year. He allowed 137 hits, 42 runs, 36 of which have been earned. He walked 42 and struck out 105, pitching to an ERA of 1.68. Well, that's your starting lineup for the Hawks and who they're facing. Now, the starting lineup for the home team from Orix, or the home team that plays in Osaka, called the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off in center field is number 1, Shuhei Fukuda. Batting second and playing third base is number 6, Yuma Mune. Hitting third in right field is number 67, Kai Nakagawa. In the cleanup spot in left field is number 7, Masataka Yoshida. Batting fifth at first base is number 44, Yuma Tongu. Hitting sixth at second base is number 5, Masahiro Nishino. In the seventh spot and doing the designated hitting is number 99, Yataro Sugimoto. Hitting eighth at shortstop is number 24, Kotaro Kobayashi. And batting ninth and doing the catching is number 2, Kenya Wakatsuki. And they're going to be facing a right-hander in Shuda Ishikawa. He takes to the hill for the Hawks with a 7-10 record. He's worked 136 in the third innings, given up 122 hits, 57 runs, 51 of which were earned. He walked 57 and struck out 106, and he's got an earned run average of 3.37. We want to welcome everybody that'll be in our stream tonight, and for those who will also come, we have Bruce Fow, who came in and said, "What's the prediction for your score in this matchup?" And our friend John Cardona is also looking to make a play, and he's working on some stuff, so we welcome him as well to the stream. So if I had to give you a prediction tonight, first of all, I would predict that the Buffaloes are going to win the ball game. And if I had to predict the score line, my score line tonight will be 5-2. But that being said, there is something to keep in mind. The Hawks may be benefited by having been able to play that 2-game series in which they had taken care of the Saitama Cebu Lions. There's not that many days in between the last games that they've played and this one here tonight. Whereas the Orix Buffaloes, the hitters would be of concern for me, as their timing may be a bit off because they haven't seen live action in just over a week's time. Well, those are your starting lineups. We're about ready to get this one underway in just a couple of moments as Yoshinobu Yamamoto is completing his stretches. They've done the first pitches. And now the Buffaloes are ready to take to the field. But we'll be back in just a couple of moments after this with all the action when we return. Appreciate you guys for being here. Whether you listen live or on delay, it's always great to have you in the house. Welcome back, everybody. It is Yoshinobu Yamamoto who is completing his warm-up tosses. We're about ready to get this one underway in just a couple moments. I'll be facing the top of the order for the Hawks, and that's going to be Masaki Momori, Yukio Shudo, and Taisi Makihara. The right-hander this year was 15-5, as we said at the top of the stream. A sparkling 168 earned run average, logged 193 innings. And I bring that up because I was thinking about Major League Baseball. And the American League this year, there were only 3 pitchers in the MLB who logged 200 or more innings. In the National League, there were 6 pitchers who turned the trick. But the interesting part to that is that there's usually about 32 to 33 starts in Major League Baseball for the starters. Yamamoto went 193 innings on only 26 starts this year. So pretty impressive from the Orix right-hander. Well, he has completed his warm-up tosses, and we are about ready to get this one underway. And the first pitch of the ball game is about to come up in a couple of moments as Masaki Momori is striding to the plate. For Momori on the season, he hit .257 in the regular season. He had 9 homers and 36 runs batted in. Yamamoto rocks into the motion, and here's the first pitch of the ball game. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Momori. We are underway at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. Yamamoto rocking into the motion, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-2. I was commenting the other night, one thing that I really enjoy watching, at least with the Japanese pitchers, is they do have command and control of their split finger pitch. They can throw it for strikes when they want, and they also can throw it as the chase pitch. I sometimes watch the North American pitchers, and they purely use it as a chase pitch. It's very rare that you get them that they can throw it for strikes. So here comes the 0-2 offering. It's a fastball inside that is swung on and missed. It came under the hands on Momori, and he swung right through the pitch, and he is gone for out number 1 here in the first inning. So 1 up and 1 away. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Yukio Shudo. Well, for Shudo on the regular season, he hit .267. He had 5 homers and 15 RBIs. He has been a terror on the base paths for the Hawks. He had 22 stolen bases. He and Momori at the top of the batting order, if they can find their way on, can wreak havoc with the defense of the opposition. And here comes the first pitch to Shudo. As he kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses outside for ball 1. Defensively tonight for the Orix Buffaloes, from left to right field across your YouTube screen, it'll be Masataka Yoshida is in left. The center fielder is Shuhei Fukuda, and the right fielder is Kai Nakagawa. As Yamamoto rocks into delivery and delivers, it's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. Around the horn from first to third, it is Yuma Tonga gets the nod at first base. At second base, it is Masahiro Nishino. The shortstop is Kotaro Kobayashi, and it is Yuma Mune at third. And the battery is Yamamoto and Kenya Wakatsuki for the Buffaloes tonight. Here comes the 2-0 offering, and it's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul into the seats over behind the third base dugout. And the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike to Shudo. Another thing about Shudo is that he began the first game of the series against the Lions batting down in the order, and they moved him right up into the 2 spot. He had a couple of clutch hits and scored some runs in that 2-game set. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count now goes to 2-2. As I said, it's kind of fun to watch him play. The youngster, he's plays some third base. He also move him into the outfield for defensive purposes when they get later into the ball game. That seems to be the trend that the manager Fujimoto has been doing for the Hawks. There was a breaking ball swung on it. Is grounded over to third. Mune has to hurry. He goes across the diamond, and they're able to get Shudo by a step. It's going to go down as a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 Hawks up and 2 Hawks away, just like that. We've got John Cardona in the house, and we appreciate you for coming in, John. We're glad we've been pretty good. I'm glad you could be here with us tonight. We're going to call every single game of this series. If this series ends early, then we'll bounce over and take care of the Swallows and the Tigers, as that game is going on at the same time as this one. So Yamamoto rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is lifted into deep left center field. Racing back on it in front of the warning track is Fukuda, and he makes the catch. And that is going to do it here for out number 3 in the first inning. So Yamamoto retires the side 1-2-3 in the top of the first. And that is not going to bode for good news for the Hawks, as he is tough when he gets going. So there was no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're through a half inning. It is the Hawks. No score. The Buffaloes coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We'll continue to chat with our chat when we return. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom of the first inning, and it is going to be the right-hander taking to the hill, and that is going to be Shuta Ishikawa. He's going to complete his warm-up tosses, and we'll be back in 30 seconds with the call right after this. Appreciate you guys for bouncing in here with us tonight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is the bottom of the first inning, ready to get underway. It'll be Shuhei Fukuda, Yuma Mune, and Kai Nakagawa to face the right-hander Shuta Ishikawa, who takes to the hill for Fukuoka in game one of this series. And the first pitch from him is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball one, and the count is 1-0. For Fukuda on the season, he hit .268. He had no homers and 24 runs batted in. And he takes a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. Fukuda batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Ishikawa, and he takes a breaking ball inside for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. Ishikawa is in full speed ahead motion. He wastes no time and delivers a fastball that misses down and away. And the count is even at 2-2. Ishikawa has got to be one of the quickest workers in the NPB. He was ready to go back to work again, and Fukuda asks for time and steps out. And now we're ready to go. Here we go. It is a fastball delivered. It is chopped over to first. It is fielded by the first baseman, Nakamura, who jumps into the baseline and applies the tag as Fukuda had nowhere to go but run into the first baseman. So the tag is applied. He is retired for out number one, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Well, for Mune on the season, he hit .271 with 5 homers and 43 RBIs. It was really a breakout season for him in the NPB last year. He got a chance to play regularly. His power numbers were down a bit this year, but he has been able to flash the leather and provide some solid defense for the Buffaloes. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses low for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Mick is in the house tonight as well. Appreciate you, Mick, for being here. Glad you could make it in with us tonight. It's going to be a fun night on the stream every single night of this series. As a fastball swung on and fouled away. Lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think Pune would probably have wanted that pitch back as it was a hanger up in the zone. And he just wasn't able to stay on top of it. And he ended up fouling that one away. So here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into deep left field. Moving back on it is the left fielder, and that's Yanagamachi, who makes the catch. And he hauls that one in for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away. That's going to leave it all up to the right fielder, Kai Nakagawa. Our friend John Cardona said earlier that the Orix Buffaloes and the Hawks, he had taken the Buffaloes and the spread of 1.5. And I think that I called it at the top of the stream for those of you who were listening to the pregame. I gave my prediction. I think it's going to be a 5-1 or a 5-2 ball game in favor of Orix. That's my early prediction. And there's the first pitch fastball that misses upstairs to Nakagawa for ball one, and the count is 1-0. The only thought on that would be is that the Buffaloes may take them a little bit to get going here. And there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nakagawa. CJ Doe 3 in the house. He says, when's it starting? It's already underway. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of the left fielder, Yanagamachi, digging hard for 2 is Nakagawa, and the throw is in time. It has nailed him as he slides into second base, trying to stretch it out for a double. And that is going to be it to retire the inning. That ball there was absolutely hit on a line right to the left fielder. Took a crazy hop as Yanagamachi was able to field it, and he threw it on one hop into second base, where Masaki Momori applied the tag. So it'll go down as a single, but he's going to be put out 7-4 for the putout for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it. So for the Buffaloes in their half of the first inning, there were no runs, no hits, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 1 complete. It is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks no score and the Orix Buffaloes no score. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the top of the second inning after this. Appreciate you guys for listening in. Here's another one of our Japanese Hall of Fame memories. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the batting order coming up for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Yuki Yanagita, Alfredo Despania, and Akira Nakamura to come to bat to face the right-hander Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yuki Yanagita was the star of the series against the Saitama Seibu Lions. He had a 3-run homer in the first game of that series and then a grand slam, driving in 7 runs in just the 2 games. He provides a big bat in the middle of the order for the Hawks, and the first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Yanagita. Yanagita on the season hit .275. He had himself 24 homers and 79 runs batted in. He is in the back end of his career as the 34-year-old right fielder for the Hawks. As Yamamoto rocks into the motion and delivers, it's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-1. Our friend Mick in the chat throws out some random basketball games from the Philippines League. On top of it, he's taking Hanshin and Orix all in money line because he's playing it safe. Here comes the 1-1 offering as Yamamoto rocks into the delivery and he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I have to say, when I watch Yamamoto tonight, it looks like he is on his game. Sometimes when I've seen him pitch in the past, he'll sometimes struggle to get things going out of the gate, but it looks like he's got some command and control of his pitches. He's bringing his A game in here tonight, and that spells trouble for the Hawks. So here comes the 1-2 offering as Yamamoto rocks into the windup and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it as Yuki Yanagita goes down on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Alfredo Despania. Our friend John Cardona says that he has played the Hanshin Tiger game at under 7.5 with some heavy juice. Well, I think the opening games of this series, if I had to lean toward it, I think that they would be low scoring. Of course, the ace of the staff, there's a fastball swung on by Despania. This ball is driven into deep right field. Moving back and having room underneath it is Nakagawa. He's going to make the catch in front of the warning track. And with 1 pitch, Despania is retired for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to Akira Nakamura. And the reason I say that is because the teams that have been sitting, waiting for the first series to finish, all have their aces tonight, or their proverbial aces going, and especially Yamamoto, he is their ace. And one would think that Ishikawa is probably the third in line for the Fukuoka Ball Club. There's a first pitch fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nakamura. 2 gone here in the top of the second. As Yamamoto rocks into the windup and delivers, it is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. And the count is now 1-1. Our friend Mick asked if we were watching any of the qualifiers for the World Baseball Classic. I did check out some of the European pool games that went on approximately 2-3 weeks ago. It is going to be the Czech Republic and Great Britain who are making their way into the Classic. As there's a fastball that is swung on and missed, that one registered in at 97 miles an hour on the gun. The count is now 1-2 to Nakamura. Nakamura swung through that pitch. It was an inside fastball and probably would have been a strike regardless. So here's the 1-2 pitch as Yamamoto rocks into the motion and he kicks and fires. It is a fastball that misses way outside. The count now goes even to 2-2. I did also see that it was, I believe, Nicaragua and Brazil made it out in the Latin or the Central American countries to qualify for the World Baseball Classic. Of course, that's going to go on in March. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And Nakamura is aboard with a 2-out single here in the second inning. And that is going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Kenta Imamiya. Well, for Imamiya on the season, he hit .296. He had 7 homers to go with 47 runs batted in. Get himself a very fine campaign. He is the Pacific League all-time sacrifice bunt leader. And this year here, he was entrusted to swing the bat a little bit more, the 31-year-old, who bats from the right side, ready to face the first offering here from Yamamoto. As Yamamoto holds, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Imamiya. The Hawks tonight are wearing their black tops with their white pants. They've got the white and yellow trim. And the Orix Buffaloes are in their all-home whites. I can't always tell if it's black or if it's a navy piping that they have down the side. Almost looks like it is a really dark navy. There's the pitch. It is a split-finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count now goes even to 1-1 on Imamiya. That's the one thing I have to keep in mind. Sometimes the pitches almost drop like a breaking ball in some regards, but it was a split-finger pitch, and that is something that the Buffalo's right-hander does regular, as he throws a lot of the split-finger pitches. He throws them for strikes, and he can throw them as chase pitches. On that last particular pitch, he was a little bit loose with his arm action and had a little bit of arm side run to it as well. And there's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 1-2 to Imamiya. Our friend Mick says, anybody got any information on the Hanshin game as they're still in the bottom of the first with no score? I haven't checked in on any of that. I'll try to keep my eyes peeled on the out-of-town scoreboard from time to time. And we'll just try to give you the updates as we go. It's actually 3-0 for the Swallows. At the bottom of the first inning, the Swallows have the lead. And there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2 to Imamiya. How they got their runs? It looks like there was a home run, and it was Osuna, the import, who had a 3-run homer. And so that ought to give you that. It was off of, looks like Yuki Nishi has the start tonight for the Hanshin Tigers. So a 3-0 lead for the Swallows in the bottom of the first inning. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is now going to remain at 2-2 to Imamiya. One would have to think there's a bit of a hangover in that game. The Tigers, who won that game the other night in dramatic fashion, we were on the call. It was a bases loaded situation with 1 out. And the Swallows grounded into the 4-2-3 double play to end the ball game and to end the series. It was a really exciting game, especially for a neutral, somebody who's just watching the ball for watching the ball. And there's a breaking ball that just misses outside. The count runs full to Imamiya. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So fascinating to be able to watch that as well. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Imamiya. Right-hander Yamamoto works to the belt, and then he comes set at the chest. He checks the runner. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And Emamiya is down on strikes for the third out of the inning. That's the third strikeout of the ball game for Yamamoto. And that is going to do it here in the top of the second for the Hawks. There was no runs. There was a hit. No errors, and one runner left aboard. We're through 1.5. It is the Buffaloes no score and the Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few minutes with our call right after this. Appreciate you guys for being here and listening in with us tonight. Here's another one of those Hall of Fame memories. Welcome back, everybody. We are locked up at zeros here as we move to the top of the second inning. It's going to be the heart of the Buffaloes batting order to come to bat to face the right-hander Shuta Ishikawa. That means it's going to be Masataka Yoshida, Yuma Tongu, and Masahiro Nishino. One would anticipate that tonight is going to fly by as the right-hander for the Hawks, Ishikawa, really works quickly. And Yamamoto doesn't really allow a lot of base runners, so I would have to think the first half dozen innings of this is going to rip right on by. So Masataka Yoshida, who steps in on the left side, finished second in the batting race in the Pacific League, takes a first pitch breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Not sure that Yamamoto necessarily believed that because the reaction that he looked back at the home plate umpire said so. There's a breaking ball that just misses outside. The count now goes even to 1-1. And you can see that they're going to try to slow the pace of Ishikawa down as he takes a tour outside of the batter's box. Ishikawa is not wasting any time as he goes back to work. And there's a breaking ball swung on it, has popped up to the shallow left field. It's playable. Moving in is Yanagamachi. And he's going to make the grab, and Yoshida is gone for the first out of the inning, 1 up and 1 away. Well, we didn't do it in the last half inning, but defensively for the Hawks tonight, from left field to right field, it is Tetsuro Yanagamachi and left across your YouTube channel. Taisi Makihara is in center, and the right fielder is Yuki Yanagita. Around the horn from first to third, it is Akira Nakamura at first. The second baseman is Masaki Mawari. The shortstop is Kenta Emamiya. Yukio Shudo is holding down the hot corner at third, and the battery is Ishikawa and Takuya Kai. The first pitch offered to Yuma Tongu is a breaking ball that misses outside for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Tongu in the regular season hit .226 as he takes a fastball upstairs, and the count goes to 2-0. He had himself 11 homers and 34 runs batted in. He has a very upright stance with a slightly open stance. And he takes a fastball over for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Tongu. And now Tongu asks for some time and steps out of the box as he's not ready. But the right-hander is, and he's ready to go again. And here he goes, wasting no time as Ishikawa. There's a fastball swung on it. It's fouled straight back. That runs the count even to 2-2. Only 12 pitches in the first inning for the right-hander Ishikawa. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has been economical himself. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-2 to Tongu. One would have to expect that both of these pitchers will be around the zone. The control normally from Yamamoto is a little bit better. He's about a walk every 4 innings. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted foul down the right field line into the seats. The count remains at 3-2. John Cardona says it's going to be tough to cash his under 7.5 ticket in the Hanshin game. Also not looking to add more right now since the live total is 8.5. See where they're at in a few innings. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it is a fastball swung on. It is popped up on the infield. It's in front of the pitcher, and racing out is Takuya Kai. He's going to make the catch. That's not an easy catch to have to make. And to be honest with you, I'm not really sure why he raced out there to have to get that one. Normally the ball is spinning back, or is going to be spinning in that direction, but the catcher had run out and he'd made the grab just in front of the pitcher's mound. He literally got out that far. That's going to retire Tongu for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Masahiro Nishino. Well, for Nishino on the season, he's hitting .289. He's got no homers and 8 RBIs. I thought it was interesting that he got the start at second base tonight. There's a fastball that misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Ryo Adachi also gets time over there. The 32-year-old Nishino, though, gets the start in game 1 as he takes a breaking ball upstairs for ball 2, and the count is 2-0. Nishino, we've seen him play a little bit this year. I don't know why Adachi maybe has fallen out of favor. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 3-0. So Ishikawa in jeopardy of putting on a base runner via the walk. And the 3-0 pitch is ready to go. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. And Nishino is aboard with a 2-out walk, and that will leave it up to bring up the designated hitter, Yataro Sugimoto. Well, for Sugimoto on the regular season, it had a bit of a struggle. He rebounded toward the end of the year, pulling his average up to .235. He was down around the proverbial Mendoza line for much of the season. I don't know if the Japanese have their own version of the Mendoza line. Of course, Mario Mendoza was the former player in the major leagues who had a career average of about .211, but always the 200 mark seems to be what's considered that, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And we've got our friend St. Louis Cardinals fan, 1990, and Blue Jays fan in the house. And unfortunately for Ryan, it's probably not necessarily a good time to be fans of either of those teams, as they both made very early exits in the MLB playoffs. So here comes the 0-1 offering from Ishikawa. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2 to Sugimoto. Saying about Sugimoto that last season was almost a bit of a breakout year for him. And Colin is in the house today, and he says, just stop by to hit the like button. Well, that's great of you to be here, and hopefully you can pop by a little bit later and listen to some more. As that fastball misses up in the way, and the count is now 1-2. Appreciate your support as always. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. Right-hander Ishikawa holds and now delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's tapped foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sugimoto, as we were saying, for most of the year was batting down right around the 200 mark, and it was only toward the end of the season that he was able to start to put some more consistency in his game and raised his average up to 235. But I would like to know if there is a mark that they would name something after, as I said about Mario Mendoza hitting a career 211, but usually the 200 line is the kind of the proverbial Mendoza line. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2 to Sugimoto. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Neither team has had a runner past first base so far in the early going in this one. As the runner at first is Nishino here with 2 gone in the bottom of the second inning. So here comes the 2-2 to Sugimoto. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted over to shallow right field. This ball is drifting, and it's going to be just foul as it sails over off of the wall in front of the temporary seating. And that is going to keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It kept slicing and slicing and slicing away. The best opportunity for that play was probably Masaki Momori. And so Momori is the one that would have had the opportunity to probably try to make that play. But unfortunately, it just drifted over toward the seats. Here's the 2-2 pitch. But instead, Ishikawa throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Nishino. Nishino, not a threat to steal this year. He hadn't had a stolen base to his name. As we said, he is getting the start in this one here, and it was a little bit of an eyebrow raiser for me to see that he was going to be the one in that spot. And there's a fastball that swung on it. It's grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Coming up on it is Yanagita. The throw goes into third base, and it's not in time as Nishino went first to third. I'd like to take another look at that one again, and maybe the Hawks might do the same. It was a base hit through the 4-hole. That's going to be a single for Sugimoto. Nishino was going first to third on the hit. As we watch, Yanagita comes up throwing. He threw a bullet on one hop right into third base. We're going to get a look at that replay here to see if that is going to be in time or not. The throw was in time, but it was just a little bit offline. It took Yukio Shudo to the outside or outfield side of the bag, and that's why even though the tag may have come in time, Shudo was not able to hold on to the baseball as it sort of dribbled away from him. So now the Buffaloes have something going here with 2 out in the inning with runners on the corners. It's going to bring Kentaro Kobayashi up to the plate. Well, for Kobayashi on the season, he batted .224. He had 6 homers and 30 4. And Sugimoto takes second base on a delayed steal. So he is now in scoring position as well. So the Buffaloes now have runners at second and third with 2 gone. So Kobayashi in a clutch situation here, looking to drive in a pair of runs here for the Buffaloes. And Ishikawa checks his side from his catcher Kai. He works at set at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it is fouled off right at home plate. That's going to run the count to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Still 3-0 in the top of the second between the Swallows and the Tigers. We have a couple of guys over here. Bruce has asked the question. He says, anyone know where I can find the stream of the Hawks and the Buffaloes game? So hang tight there, Bruce. We'll give you some advice in just a couple of moments. Then you can go and take a look, and we can try to help you out here. Sometimes on the weekends it's easier with some of the folks that are listening in. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-2. So if you have Google at your disposal, you want to type in live QQ. When you do that, you're going to come to a channel that's got a lot of Chinese characters on it. You're going to have to dig around a bit for it. There is a link, there are links within it. So if you have Google Translate, that'll help you out. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Kobayashi for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, the Buffaloes threaten, but they don't score. They had no runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors. 2 runners left the board. We're now through 2 complete. Your score is 0-0. But Bruce, if you have some problems, come on back. And it is in different commentary other than English. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll sync our stream up with that one, and then they'll try to be able to make it work to be able to watch it. But if you have any problems, let us know, and we'll try to cycle through a little bit more. We'll be right back, everybody. Appreciate you guys for listening in tonight. We're moving to the top of the 3rd, knotted up at zeros. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat to face Yoshinobu Yamamoto. It'll be Tetsuro Yanagamachi, Takuya Kai, and Masaki Momori, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order. As our friend Bruce says, he was able to find it. We're glad you could do it. And hopefully you can sync it up to the stream and we can watch and listen together. So Yamamoto works into the windup and he delivers the first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. 26 pitches through the first 2 innings for Yamamoto. That doesn't bode well for the Hawks. If he's got command and control here, he could go deep into this one. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Tetsuro Yanagamachi. Yanagamachi, Kai, and Momori here. Yanagamachi batted .277 on the season. He had no homers and 32 runs batted in. Right-hander against the left-hander. Yamamoto rocking into the motion, and he kicks, and he delivers. There's a fastball that just misses inside. And the catcher, Wakatsuki, and the pitcher, Yamamoto, couldn't believe it. They thought that was going to be strike number 3, but not so on this day. That's because the home plate umpire says so. Here's the 1-2 pitch now as Yamamoto delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. Yamamoto does work quickly himself, but not as quickly as his counterpart, Ishikawa. Ishikawa really can get it going quickly, and you'll see that the batters are always asking for time and stepping out of the box. They don't want to let him dictate the flow of the game. So here comes the 1-2 pitch from Yamamoto. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to the right side. It's fielded by the first baseman, and that is Tongu, who flips it to the pitcher covering. That's going to go down as a ground out 1-3 for the first out of the inning, or check that ground out 3-1. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai. Well, for Takuya Kai, he is batting 180 on the year. He had 1 homer and 27 RBIs in the regular season. We happen to see that 1 homer that he hit. As we were calling games toward the end of the season, it only took him pretty much the entire year to get that first home run. Kai is a very sound defensive catcher. Controls the game. He's not a big fella. He's only 5'7". And here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Our friend John Cardona says that the Hanshin game is being played out like the opposite of this game for the pitchers. Jam after jam so far. Well, we're here at the top of the 3rd inning, and surprisingly, that game over there is moving along almost at the similar pace. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-1. I don't have that one tuned up or that I'm tuned into. Just every once in a while, we flip it around and have a look. But it's still 3-0, and we show in the top of the 2nd there as well. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. One of the things that will be neat is, are they going to be able in this one to be able to finish off? They get the first 2 hitters, and then all the action gets going with hitter number 3 so far. And that has happened for both of these ball clubs in 3 of the 4 half innings that have been played. There's a fastball that comes inside and almost hits Kai. Backs him off the plate, and the count is now 2-2. That last pitch was at 94 miles an hour. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kai. Yamamoto gets his side from his catcher, Wakatsuki, and he is ready to go into the motion. He rocks into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. That last pitch was at 97 miles an hour, and it blows Takuya Kai away. That's strikeout number 4 in the books for Yamamoto, and that is going to bring up the top of the order in Masaki Momori. Well, for Momori, he is 0-1 today. He led off the ball game by striking out his first time up. As we mentioned, the previous at bat, both he and Yukio Shudo both stole over 20 bases this year. They can run a little bit at the top of the order. They get on, they can pose some havoc for opposition. There's a split finger pitch that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Momori. Both teams have had base runners on in each of the last couple of innings. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. That last pitch floated in at 121 kilometers an hour. So for those of you who are interested in the quick math on that, it would be about 76 miles an hour, if my math is correct. There's the 0-2 pitch, and there's a fastball swung on and missed. And Mamori goes down on strikes, and that is going to be out number 3 and strikeout number 5 in the books for Yamamoto. Well, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board in this half inning. We're now moving to the bottom of the third. It is the Hawks no score and the Buffaloes no score. We'll be back with the bottom of the third inning in just a couple. Appreciate you guys for checking us out this morning or late night if you're on the West Coast. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the last half of the third inning. It's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order to come up to bat for the Buffaloes. That means Kenya Wakatsuki, Shuhei Fukuda, and Yuma Mune to get things going here for the Buffaloes in their half of the third inning. They stranded a couple of runners aboard. In the second inning, they had a 2-out walk to Masahiro Nishino and then a single by Itaro Sugimoto. Eventually, he stole a base, and they were both stranded in scoring position. They were not able to cash in to get things going here in the ballgame. And so here comes the first pitch of the inning from Ishikawa. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Ishikawa had 37 pitches in the first 2 innings. He was cruising right along until that walk and the single. There was a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. As we said, Ishikawa wastes very little time, as he does work very quickly. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. Wakatsuki goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. That's the second strikeout in the books for Ishikawa. That'll bring up the top of the order in Shuhei Fukuda. Well, for Fukuda, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to the first baseman his first time up. So he is looking to get things started for the Buffaloes. This game here, as far as I'm concerned, early on, there's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. If the Buffaloes can get the lead, if Yamamoto can do his job and take him deep into the ball game, the finger points towards the Buffaloes for victory. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1. But I will say this, that if the Hawks were to take the lead, getting into their bullpen is a very daunting task. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back and backpedaling on it and making the catch is the center fielder Makihara. And that is going to retire Fukuda for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that'll leave it all up to the third baseman, Yuma Mune. One thing I am critical about is the disappointment of the fan support that the Orix Buffaloes are getting here tonight. This is definitely, I don't care what the announced attendance is going to be. I can tell you this much, this is not a sellout. There's a lot of empty seats in the upper deck. I would say probably the upper level is maybe only 50% full from what we can see. There's a fastball swung on its line foul down the right field line, and the count is 0-1. I have to say that series, we called the series finale between the Yokohama Danabe Stars and the Hanshin Tigers. And I didn't see what the attendance was on the Monday game, but the Saturday game, and Sunday games each set attendance records for Yokohama. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-1. And I would assume that would probably have been rivaled in that as well. There's a fastball swung on and it's lifted foul over on the third base side. The count is 1-2. Probably if there was any team that was more happy than others, of course, the Tigers winning would be happy. But I have to say the Swallows probably were not looking forward to seeing the Bay Stars in a series matchup. The Bay Stars really had their number this past year. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Mooney goes down on strikes for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the third. There was no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're through 3 complete. We're locked up at zeros. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Our friend John Cardona points out just before our break, it is now 4-0 for the Swallows. They are flapping their wings at the Jinju. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the fourth inning, and it looks like it was a base hit by Yamazaki that drove in Nagioka in that game between the Swallows and the Tigers, giving the Swallows a 4-0 lead as they were batting and are still batting, at least on my card, in the bottom of the second inning. This game here is moving right along. We are now in the top of the fourth. And it is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Hawks. That means Yukio Shudo, Taisi Makihara, and Yuki Yanagita to come to bat to face Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And the first pitch is on the way. It is a fastball that Shudo squares to bunt on, but he ends up bunting through it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Shudo. Right-hander Yamamoto wearing that famous number 18, which is usually reserved for and given to the aces of the staff. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. Moving over and to his right is Fukuoka, and he makes the catch. And Shudo is going to be gone for the second out. He hit that ball hard and on a line. That ball had just hung up enough there for the center fielder to be able to read and react to it and make the grab. So Shudo is gone for out number 1, and that will bring up the center fielder, Taisi Makihara. Well, for Makihara tonight, he is 0 for 1. He flew out to his opposite number, Fukuoka, his first time up, as he had flown to center field. So 0 for 1 for Makihara. And here's the first pitch from Yamamoto. It's a fastball that is taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. That last pitch had a lot of arm side run to it. Not a whole lot of tilt, but it didn't have a lot of movement away from the left-handed batter. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Makihara. Yanagita waits his turn on deck as the Buffaloes and the Hawks are locked up at zeros here in the top of the fourth inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and away. The count is now 2-1. This is a 6-game scheduled series, and so if I read this correctly, the Buffaloes, being the higher seed, have already been given 1 victory. They would have to win 3 of the 6 games to move on, where the on the flip side of the coin, the Hawks are going to have to win 4, as there is a fastball that is swung through and missed, and the count is now 2-2 to Makihara. That seems to be the way that it plays out in the Japanese league. You get a head start if you're the higher seed, at least in this particular series. Winner of this goes on to play in the Japan series, and the question we'll get is, are we going to call games in the Japan series? And we're hoping to do that as well. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Makihara is gone for the second out of the inning. We didn't call anything last year. We're not calling any Major League playoff games this year. We usually do some stuff in the daytime. But the reality of it is I would have to leave people hanging after the wild card in the divisional series because I just have other commitments that are on the plate. So unfortunately, that is not going to be on the docket. So 2 gone here in the 4th inning, and that is going to be Yuki Yanagita who comes to the dish. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. Yamamoto rocking into the motion, and he kicks and delivers, and it is a fastball that backs Yanagita off the plate for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. As we mentioned before, it was quite the series that Yanagita had against the Saitama Blue Lions. Had himself a 3-run homer in the first game and a grand slam in the second. 7 RBIs in the 2 games to help pace the Hawks to victory. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count now goes even to 1-1. As we said, Yanagita is 34 years old at this point in his career. He's on the downside, but he has had a wonderful career in the Hawks uniform. And so here comes the 1-1 pitch. As the righty delivers, it's a fastball swung on. It is lined right to the glove of the second baseman, Nishino, and that is going to do it here in the 4th inning for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. They had no runs in the inning. There were no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 3.5 innings. It is the Hawks nothing and the Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 4th inning when we return. This game has got some tempo and pace, that is for sure. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes. That means it's going to be Kai Nakagawa, Masataka Yoshida, and Yuma Tongu to face the right-hander Shuta Ishikawa, who has been solid through his 3 innings of work, only allowing a couple of hits and 1 walk. And those, some of the threats, the only real threat of the ball game was in the 2nd inning when Nishino had walked and then it was moved all the way over to third base on a single by Sugimoto. The first pitch that is delivered to Nakagawa is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Ishikawa back to work again, delivers a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes even at 1s to Nakagawa. Nakagawa singled in the 1st inning to left field, but he was thrown out by the left fielder Yanagamachi as he was trying to stretch it into a double. And the 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball that misses low, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. The right-hander ready to deliver again. He kicks and fires. It is a fastball that is swung on and popped foul right behind home plate. The count now is even to Nakagawa at 2s. Nakagawa ended up with a 283 average on the season. He was flirting for quite a while with the 300 mark, but ended on it, not on a tire, but on a bit of a slide toward the end, as there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count's now 3-2 to Nakagawa. As we had mentioned earlier, if you get into the bullpen with the Hawks, if they've got the lead, it could be a tough one to dig out of. The Buffaloes need to try to get a score early and then have Yamamoto bring it home, as there's a breaking ball that was swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2 to Nakagawa. So Ishikawa again back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and it's line foul down the left field line. The count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nakagawa. As Ishikawa rubs up a new baseball, he's ready to go back at it again. And here comes the 3-2 offering. It's a fastball swung on, and this one's lifted foul down the right field line. The count remains at 3-2. Nakagawa getting everybody in Osaka some souvenir baseballs. As he keeps depositing them into the seats. The only problem is when a ball goes into the stands, they can't take it home. Gotta give it back. Not sure why that is, and I don't know why that is long term. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and Nakagawa is aboard with a leadoff walk. And that is going to bring up the always dangerous Masataka Yoshida. Our friend Casino Official says any life of any scoring in this game. Only the second inning, and that all started with 2 outs. And with the Buffalo stranding runners at second and third, I would have to say that Yamamoto to this point has been extremely sharp. Ishikawa has obviously my assessment in the early going here, I think Yamamoto has the edge. But the Buffalo's got to find a way to score a run. It's going to be difficult to win a ball game if you can't score runs. So here comes the offering, but instead they throw over to first, and diving back is the base runner Nakagawa. Extra inning rules in this series that the games, I was looking earlier today, I know in the Japan series that the games are done after 12 innings. They can end in a tie. I have to go back and reference what they were saying about this series as well. I do believe it's also a similar case. There's a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball. But in the Japan series, I believe it's after Game 7 that the games are after when the 8th game starts, because it's the first team to 4 wins. If they are stuck at a couple of ties, and it may have to go to an 8th game, then there is unlimited innings. Play till the sudden death. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded up the middle for a base hit, as Yoshida has hit it into center field. Rounding second and heading to third is Nakagawa, and he's going to make it there safely. And now the Buffaloes have something brewing here in their half of the 4th inning. The single by Yoshida moves Nakagawa all the way over to third base. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Yuma Tongu. Well, for Tongu tonight, he is 0 for 1. He popped out to the catcher his first time up. But the Buffaloes now have got themselves a little bit of a stampede brewing here on the base paths, as they got runners on the corners and nobody out. Tongu, who comes to the plate, had 34 runs batted in during the year, so he can punch some runs across the plate. The catcher Takuya Kai gets up in front, and he's flashing signals for the first and third defense, as they are concerned about some shenanigans. Masataka Yoshida does not particularly run very well. He only has 4 stolen bases on the year. But Nakagawa at third base had 11, and in the event that they got themselves into a situation where Nakagawa could take off, he may have enough wheels able to score from third. So here comes the first offering to Yuma Tongu, as the right-hander Ishikawa works set at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Yuma Tongu. As we mentioned before, that upper level, especially in the outfield, very, 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 very few people, far and few between, that are seated here, which is a bit disappointing when the team has won the Pacific League. There's a breaking ball that misses way outside. A great stop by the catcher, Kai. And now he's asking for time, as he's going to come out and visit his pitcher. But that pitch there was a breaking ball that ended up in the left-handed batter's box. It sent Kai over to his right. He had to backhand it. He came sprinting out. That was a pitch definitely that would have provided opportunity for Yoshida to take second base had he decided to go. He was reading the pitch down. So 2 balls and no strikes to Tongu. He's definitely in the driver's seat now. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. Runners are on the corners. And the pitch is a breaking ball that misses up and in, and that is 3-0. Our friend Casino Official says he hopes that somebody can score in this game. It's been a drought. Yeah, the definitely base runners are at a premium, but Ishikawa is in a situation where he might be putting another runner aboard here to load the bases. Here's the 3-0 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It has popped up, and it is in the infield. It's over by the second base bag. Moving over underneath it is Kenta Emamiya, and he is going to make the grab. It's the second time tonight Tongu has popped up in the infield. So he is erased for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Masahiro Nishino. Well, for Nishino on the season, or on the evening tonight, he's got a walk in his only plate appearance. On the season, he had 289 with no homers and 8 RBIs. I think the defense right now is in double play depth up the middle. They've got the corner. The third baseman is in, and the first baseman is obviously holding the runner at first. I wonder in this situation here, we got to be looking for a bunt. I think there may be an opportunity for a safety squeeze. This might be the opportunity to be able to do it. I think that if I'm the Buffaloes, I might try to maybe take one down the first baseline. And if you can do that, maybe you stay out of the double play, but you're able to cash in a run in a small ball sort of way. So we're keeping our eyes on that right here. So here comes the first offering to the left-handed hitting Nishino. As the pitcher kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Ishikawa is struggling to get his first pitch over for a strike. This is the fourth consecutive batter this inning that he has thrown a first pitch ball to. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nishino. Nishino is waggling the bat. The right-hander Ishikawa gets his sign from Kai. He works set to the belt, and now he delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. Sataki Yoshida had an extended secondary lead, but he scampers back to first base. Takuya Kai can throw the ball around a little bit. So 2 balls and no strikes to Nishino. As the batter stands in and is ready to face the offering again from the right-hander Ishikawa. And here's the 2-0 pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-0. Well, I don't know if the Hawks have anybody up in their bullpen or not, but I think if I'm the manager, Fujimoto, I think I'm making the call quickly now because his right-hander is having difficulties finding and locating the strike zone. 65 pitches here in the fourth inning, and here comes the 3-0 offering, as it is a fastball that misses outside, and that's ball 4. Nishino's going to get his second walk of the ball game. It's going to load the bases with 1 gone. That is going to bring up the designated hitter, Yataro Sugimoto. Well, it's also going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound, and not surprisingly, as the right-hander Ishikawa is going to get the visit. The entire infield is on the bump. Sugimoto tonight has one of the 3 hits for the Buffaloes. He had a single in the second inning. He also stole a base. Our friend Casino Official says a grand slam time, or grand salami time. Absolutely, this is that situation here that you've got to think that you got the big slugger at the plate. Only hit 15 homers this past year in the NPB, but coming off a pretty solid season in 2021. He did get the nod as the DH tonight, so it'd be an unfortunate situation if they can't come away with at least 1 run here. Buffaloes have that bases loaded. Well, unless, of course, you're a Hawks fan, then you might see that a little bit differently. So the runner at third is Nakagawa. The runner at second is Yoshida. The runner at first is Nishino. There's 1 gone. The corners are in. The middle is in double play depth. This is a crunch time situation for the Buffaloes. They've left 2 runners on base so far in the first 3 innings in this game. They're looking to cash in here. So here comes the offering from Ishikawa. He holds at the belt and delivers. It's a breaking ball that's down, but the home plate umpire points to Sugimoto and said he went around. That is going to be a strike applied to the Buffalo's designated hitters. So no balls and one strike. And as we get the replay, we have to agree with the home plate umpire that he did go around. So no balls and one strike to Sugimoto. Right-hander Ishikawa gets his sign from his catcher Kai. And now he works into the set position. And here's the 0-1 offering. It's a fastball swung on. It's on the fists. Grounded foul. It's past the first base coach's box, and the count is now 0-2 to Sugimoto. Well, I do say this, that when Ishikawa's got nobody on, he works at a lightning fast pace. As soon as runners get on base, everything starts to slow down for the Fukuoka right-hander. So he's got to find a way to wiggle out of this jam. Bases loaded, one gone here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Right-hander against the right-hander. He kicks and delivers. It's a split-finger pitch that bounces up about 5 feet short of the plate. Nice block by the catcher Kai to keep it in front. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just as a reminder, we will be back on the air for everything else. Our friend Alex is in here. Alex, I'll try to fill you in here a little bit as you go, so just hang with me here. I'll give you some advice, and you can try to do some searching here in a second. We got the bases loaded. We've got 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. Alex is in the United States listening in, so I'll be able to help you there. So the right-hander Ishikawa gets his sign from his catcher Takuya Kai. The 1-2 pitch is ready to be served up here to Sugimoto. As he kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2. So to answer Alex's question, the first thing you're going to need to do is to Google Live QQ. And when you do that, you're going to get a website that's going to come up, and you're going to have all kinds of Chinese characters on it, but you've got all kinds of stuff. You're going to have to use your Google Translate, and you're going to have to navigate around a little bit there. And that's kind of the best I can do for you. Sometimes when guys are listening on the weekend, we can give you a little bit more extended help with some folks in the chat. Can't put the links in the chat. That gets us into trouble. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2 to Sugimoto. But what people will do is they usually will follow up the game, and then you've got the game. It's either Japanese or wherever it's in. I don't know if they always give you the Japanese feeds. But then what people do is they sync our English commentary to the game, and you can watch and enjoy it along with us. So hopefully that can make it work for you. And if you're having trouble, then come on back and we can help you out again. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. The right-hander holds at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down. A nice stop by Kai. Oh, the runner at third base over there, Nakagawa, he was almost in a position where he got too far off the bag. You could see Kai wanted to hunt him down, but that's going to run the count now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's nowhere to put Sugimoto. He's got to pitch to him here, and you know he's going to get something good to hit. So the Buffalo's designated hitter is in the position to get a good pitch to swing at. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. The crowd in Osaka is quietly optimistic, and there's a pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and it's going to be ball 4, as Sugimoto is going to get himself a walk. He's also going to get himself an RBI. That's the 3rd walk of the inning issued by Ishikawa. He's failed to throw strikes in this inning. It's going to bring in Nakagawa with the first run of the ball game for the Buffaloes. It's going to keep the bases loaded. It's going to bring Kotaro Kobayashi to the plate. And there is not a lot of stuff going on. You can see that Ishikawa was just falling apart. He threw the breaking ball at 3-2. The pitch went way into the opposite batter's box adjacent to the right-handed hitting Sugimoto. That's exactly where you have it. It's broken the ice, and now there is a 1-0 ball game here. Our friend Casino Official says, what's the score? We'll always update at the end of the half innings. So unfortunately, you're going to watch that 0 float by across the ticker. We'll do that for you on the in-between. So 1-0 now is the lead from the Buffaloes over the Hawks. And now Taro Kirbiashi comes to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. So the right-hander Ishikawa gets his sign from his catcher Kai, and he works set to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Kirbiashi. As we said before, Kirbiashi hit .224 on the season with 6 homers and 32 RBIs. The defense now, instead of in double play depth up the middle, they've actually got the defense in. So all of the defenders are almost up on the green painted infield. So Kirbiashi here, ready to face Ishikawa with an 0-1 count. As he waggles the bat, he is ready to go. 3 for 11 on the season with the bases loaded for Kirbiashi. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now is 0-2. I'm not sure what he was looking at. That was a beautiful fastball. That looked like that Ishikawa missed his spot. They were set up outside for him. The pitch started down the middle of the plate and looked like it ran inside. Catching the inside corner, Takuya Kai had to do a good job to try to frame that pitch, but that wasn't the spot that they wanted. So no balls and 2 strikes, but it did work just the same. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded back to the pitcher. They go home for 1, back to first. It's an inning-ending double play. That's going to go into the books as a 1-2-3 double play to end the inning, but they do get a run, as it is 1 run in the inning on the run by Kai Nakagawa. There was 1 hit, there were no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 4 complete innings. It is the Orix Buffaloes 1 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call, the top of the 5th inning when we return. 1-0 is your scoreline. We appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the top of the 5th inning, and it is a 1-0 lead for the Orix Buffaloes. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has been sharp tonight, and that will pose a problem for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, who are yet to cash in a run here tonight, but they also have only got 1 hit to their name. It was a base hit back in the 2nd inning by Akira Nakamura. So here it is going to be Despania, Nakamura, and Imamiya to come to the plate here at the top of the 5th inning, looking to try to get something going. Despania flew out to right field his first time up. He only saw 1 pitch from Yamamoto. And the first pitch from the Orix right-hander is a fastball that misses inside at 95 for ball 1. The count is 1-0. 49 pitches through the first 4 innings for Yamamoto, so lots of life left in this arm. As he rocks into the motion and he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. We're here in the top of the 5th inning as the Buffaloes are trying to keep the Hawks in check. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-2. That was of the split finger variety. That one was coming in at knee high and fell off the table, and the right-handed hitting Despania just waved at it. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as Yamamoto rocks into the motion and delivers. There's another split finger pitch in the same location, but this time it's taken for a ball, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We take a look at for the out-of-town scoreboard. It's now 5-0. Game was in the bottom of the third inning at the Jinju Stadium. It is the Swallows in the lead. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. Good battle there by Despania just to get a piece of it. That split finger pitch was almost falling off the table, but not quite far enough to get the swing and the miss. 6 strikeouts so far in this one for Yamamoto. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded up the middle past the glove of the second baseman, Nishino, and that is going to be a leadoff single here for Despania, as he is aboard here in the 5th inning with the first hit for him, the second hit of the ball game for the Hawks. That will bring up the first baseman, Akira Nakamura. Well, for Nakamura, he singled his first trip to the plate. He is 1 for 1 in this one. So Despania gets his lead over at first base. That's the one thing I have noticed about Yamamoto. Usually he gets into the 5th and 6th innings, and he sometimes will have a rough patch. And then once he gets through that, he can really still continue to settle down as he delivers a first pitch strike on the outside corner to Nakamura. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Just looking to see how the Swallows got their 5th run. It was actually a sacrifice fly to center field by Santana. He knocked in Osuna for the 5th run of the ball game for the Hawks. There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up foul. It's over by the seats, but it's just going to drift over those temporary seats and over the netting. The count is now 0-2 to Nakamura. So no balls and 2 strikes. Kenta Imamiya is waiting his turn on deck. And you can pretty much figure, should Nakamura get on, Imamiya will be getting his bunting bat ready to go. So here comes the 0-2 offering. Yamamoto holds and now delivers. It's a fastball swung on and grounded foul. And that is not only the grounded foul, but it looks like he fouled it off his foot. We're going to have to get a look at that one again. And where did he swing and hit that? Boy, I don't know. Taking a look at this, we're getting at the side. Oh boy. Ouch, did that hurt? I couldn't see it get off his foot. He fouled it off the top, just above his kneecap. Oh, man, and they come out with the magic spray. I don't know if the magic spray is going to help. That is going to hurt. If you've ever fouled a ball off of your body, and with Yamamoto throwing hard and coming inside, that was a really long swing, and he fouled it right off the top of his knee. Ouch, that is going to hurt. So I don't care what kind of magic spray you got. I don't know if that's going to mask any type of pain. So Nakamura able to walk it off with no balls and 2 strikes on him here. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Yamamoto. It's a very modest lead for Despania at first base. So here comes the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander holds. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch and misses down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say he didn't go. Ooh, we'd like to have a look at that one, and we're going to get a look at that one, as the replay said he didn't, and I have to agree with them. The third base umpire got that one right. It's been a pretty good job on the bases tonight. The home plate umpires had a little bit of a struggle here and there, but for the most part, he's been fairly consistent. It's been the pitches that are up in the zone that have had the hitter's attention. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. As Yamamoto delivers, it's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nakamura. Nakamura to be followed by Kenta Imamiya and then Tetsuro Yanagamachi here in the 5th inning. Right-hander Yamamoto works in the set position. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined through the 4-hole into right field. It's going to be a base hit. And stopping over at second base is Despaigne. So Nakamura is aboard with a single. That's going to put runners at first and second. And we called it just a couple of moments ago, as one would have to think it is going to be bunting time for Kenta Imamiya, the all-time Pacific League leader in that category. One would have to expect that he's going to try to push those runners into scoring position. So we got a little bit of action for most of the game. It's been pretty quiet. And then, of course, the loading of the bases and a run in the bottom of the 4th. And now it looks like the Hawks are threatening, looking to get something here in the 5th inning. So the runner at first, Nakamura, the runner at second is Despaigne, and that is what we're seeing. Imamiya is already squaring the bunt. He waggles the bat. He's right up on the plate. And here comes the first pitch from Yamamoto. It's a breaking ball that misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. A little surprised that they went with breaking ball on first pitch. A lot of teams traditionally like to throw a high fastball or come up in the zone of the fastball and try to induce a pop-up from the bunt. You can get the hitter to pop it up. Of course, that really puts the pressure back over onto the offense because you're taking away an out in that situation. So here comes the pitch. It is a split finger pitch that is taken for a called strike. Ooh, not sure about that one. I'd like to see the replay on that again. Let's see what happens. I guess he did offer it. He didn't pull back in time. So no complaints on that one. But the pitch was certainly down. He did pull it back, but just wasn't in time for the umpire. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Imamiya. Again, squaring the bunt. The right-hander holds set. Despaigne establishes his lead at second. Yamamoto checks the runner at second, and now he delivers. It's a fastball swung on it, is bunted back to the pitcher, and Yamamoto looked at third. He may have had a chance there, but I don't think that the third baseman, Mune, was at the bag in time. And then he had to turn and throw it to first, and that's going to go down as a sacrifice, 1-4. We're going to have to get a look at the replay, but I think Mune was too slow getting to the bag at third base. He's got to do a better job with a one-step read because they did have a guy that they could get. Maybe not. No, maybe it was just the pitcher Yamamoto who didn't think he had the opportunity. And that is going to advance the runners into scoring position as Nakamura is now the runner at second. Despaigne, the runner at third. It's going to bring up Tetsuro Yanagamachi to the plate. Well, I apologize to Mune. I was throwing him under the bus, but by all accounts, it looks like it was the pitcher Yamamoto who was the one who was a bit indecisive of going to third. I think with the runner being Despaigne, I would have taken my shot there. You see, he got to the ball in time. So this brings Tetsuro Yanagamachi to the plate, who's 0 for 1 tonight. He's grounded to the first baseman his first time up. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1. Yanagamachi during the regular season hit .277. He had no homers and 32 runs batted in. He did start both of the games against the Lions in the last series. So he is at the plate batting here against Yamamoto with runners at second and third and 1 gone. Here comes the 0-1 offering as Yamamoto holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count now goes to 0-2 on Yanagamachi. One would have to think if they could retire Yanagamachi here, Takuya Kai is a guy you want to face to kill a rally. He's not exactly one of the better hitters in the lineup. He's not there for his bat. He's there for his glove. So no balls and 2 strikes to Yanagamachi as he waggles the bat, waiting here on the offering from Yamamoto. Yamamoto checks the runner at second. Despaigne, now he's ready to deliver. And he kicks and he fires. Here's the pitch. It is a split figure pitch, swung on and missed. And Yanagamachi is down on strikes for the second out of the inning. And that was a crucial strikeout there for the right-hander from Orix. That's strikeout number 7 in the ball game. I'm not sure what the over-under on strikeouts would have been for Yamamoto, but I would have to say by the time this one's done, expect him to be in the double-digit marks. And that's going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai, with runners at second and third and 2 away. So Kai tonight 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. As we mentioned before, he's just a little guy. He's only 5'7". He's waiting here on the first offering from the righty Yamamoto. It's a split finger pitch and misses down for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. Whether it's Kai or Mamori who is on deck, he's had both of their numbers tonight. Kai struck out his first time, and Mamori, who waits on deck, has struck out twice. So neither one has been able to unlock the key to success against the right-hander Yamamoto. So 1 ball and no strikes it is as the right-hander holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. The count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Yamamoto ready to go back to work. Takuya Kai waggling the bat. As the right-hander Yamamoto holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a split-finger pitch, swung on and missed. And the count is now 1-2 to Takuya Kai. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. This game here, this is a crucial situation here for the Hawks as they're trying to get their run back. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kai. Yamamoto, ace of the staff, looking to put away the catcher for the Hawks. He leans in, he gets his sign from Wakatsuki. He nods in agreement. Now he works to the set position. He checks the runner over at third. That's Despania. Now he steps off the bag. He reaches for the rosin bag, and we're going to do this all over again. So we have drama here in Osaka. The right-hander Yamamoto now cycling through the signs with Wakatsuki. So these two guys are not on the same page at the moment. So here we go. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. The right-hander holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And Kai has done the job, or I should say Yamamoto has done the job. He has struck out Takuya Kai for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, the Hawks, they strand a couple. There was no runs in the inning. There were 2 hits. A single by Despania and a single by Nakamura. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is the Orix Buffaloes 1 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks no score. We're halfway through this one, everybody. Stick around. We'll be right back with the call at the bottom of the 5th inning. Just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in late night with us or early morning, depending where you're at in North America. But we thank you for being here. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the fifth inning. It's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters coming to bat for the Buffaloes. That means Kenya Wakatsuki, Shuhei Fukuda, and Yuma Mune to get things going to face the right-hander Shuta Ishikawa, who is back out for his fifth inning of work. He's really struggled in the last inning. He has walked 4 batters in the first 4 innings tonight. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Wakatsuki. Ishikawa wastes no time when there's nobody on base. He delivers a split finger pitch that's swung on and missed. The count is now 0-2. He was at 76 pitches through the first 4 innings. I would have to think that it would be a stretch for him to get beyond more than 6. There was a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count now remains at 0-2 to Wakatsuki. Wakatsuki on the year batted .281 with 4 homers and 14 RBIs. Here's the offering. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded past the diving shortstop Imamiya into left field, and that's not the way that you want to begin the inning, getting ahead 0-2 on the catcher and then allowing a base hit as he lets him off the hook with a high fastball. Leaves it up right at the letters, and Wakatsuki makes no mistake and grounds that through past the diving shortstop into left field. So he is aboard with a single. That's going to bring up Shuhei Fukuda. Well, for Fukuda today, he is 0 for 2. He grounded out to first his first time up, and then he flew to center. I would have to think that if it was in my books and the way that the NPB plays out, that Fukuda may be squaring to bunt. I'll wait on this one here. He shows no signs of it yet. So here comes the first offering from the right-hander Ishikawa, and it is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. You'd think with Yuma Mune and Nakagawa and Yoshida to follow that they'd want to push this guy in. They want to push Wakatsuki into scoring position, but no sign of the bunt that first pitch from the left-handed hitting Fukuda. So here's the 1-0 pitch. Now he squares the bunt, and he takes that pitch upstairs. They were crashing at the corners. That's going to be 2 balls and no strikes. So maybe that was just a sort of a play to see what they were going to be doing. So be prepared for the slash. That's something that the Japanese will do. They will pull back and try to get the ball on the ground and skip it past the fielders. So 2 balls and no strikes to Fukuda as he waits here on the offering from the right-hander Ishikawa, and the runner goes diving back to first base as Ishikawa flips it over to first. So 2 balls and no strikes. Of the 82 pitches thrown today by the right-hander Ishikawa, 35 have been balls. It's not been the most controlled performance by him. There's a fastball delivered. It's bunted down the first baseline. It's fielded by the pitcher. He throws it over to the second baseman covering. As the second baseman, Momori, is over there to take the throw. That's going to go down as a sacrifice, 1-4 for the first out of the inning. It is going to advance Wakatsuki over to second. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. And that may be the end of the line for the pitcher, Ishikawa, as Fujimoto has come out of the dugout. And he has come over to look like he's going to replace his right-hander as the pitching coach is out to the mound. So we're going to have a little break in the action here as the Hawks are going to the bullpen. That is the end of the line for the Fukuoka right-hander. Not sharp tonight, walking 4 hitters in his 4 1/3 innings of work. It'll be Yuma Mune coming to bat, and we'll get you that change when we return in just a couple of moments. Hang tight, everybody. 1-0 Buffaloes over the Hawks. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change on our hands, and it is going to be a left-hander. It's going to be Ozeki coming into the ball game. This is Tomohisa Ozeki. The left-hander during the regular season had 21 appearances. He had a 7-6 record. He worked 101 and a third innings, allowing 88 hits, walking 28, striking out 70, and pitched to an ERA of 2.93. We did see Ozeki in relief a little bit in that series against the Saitama Cebu Lions, but he is taking over here once he completes his warm-up tosses, as he will be facing Ayuma Mune and then Kai Nakagawa, the 2-3 hitters in the Buffalo's batting order. So as he completes his warm-up tosses, we'll get you updated on a few other things. It is still 5-0 on our clock between the Tokyo Yakult Swallows and the Hanshin Tigers. So Tomohisa Ozeki has completed his tosses. And we are ready to get this one back underway. So Yuma Mune stepping to the plate. Mune tonight is 0 for 2. He struck out and flown to left field in his 2 plate appearances. So he is up to bat here. Anything probably to the right side will get the runner along and maybe even squeeze one through the 4-hole. He'll get himself an easy RBI. So Wakatsuki is the runner at second. Mune the batter here. Here comes the first offering from Ozeki, who checks the runner. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Mune. Our friend the hobbyist is in the house tonight. We welcome you into the stream. He's asked the question, when is the Japanese World Series? The Japan Series is going to be in about another 10 days or so. I forget exactly the official start time. This game here, they've scheduled all 6 games, and what's unique about this is all 6 games are in Osaka. So home ice advantage for all 6 games. They don't have to do any travel. There's a fastball that's swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2. And if I've read that correctly, that's what it looks like here, that all the games are going to be in Osaka for the Climax Series. Yuma Mune on the season hit .271. He had 5 homers and 43 RBIs. It seemed like all of his home runs came in a very small window of time in late July, early August. I think we saw 3 or 4 of them. They were all within about a 2-week window. The other one, I think, was hit a little bit later than that, or at least it felt like it anyway. Here's the 0-2 pitch as Ozeki kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined past the shortstop into left field. Yamamiya was diving to his right. And Yuma Mune went the other way, and he's got himself a single. That's going to advance Wakatsuki over to third. And we're in that similar situation again. We got runners on the corners with 1 gone. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Kai Nakagawa. Well, for Nakagawa, he's been all over the base paths tonight in his 2 trips to the plate. He had a single and was thrown out trying to advance to second on a ball hit to left field in the first inning. He walked and scored a run in the 4th, which was the only run of the game so far for the Buffaloes. So he's had his hand in the offense on both occasions. So the defense is going to be set for the Hawks. It looks like they've got the middle in double play depth. They're halfway. You got the runner. You got the corners are in, or even with the bases, I should say. The runner at first is being held by the first baseman. But certainly the third baseman is even with the bag, looking to be able to go to the double play to second base and then come home. So here's the first offering now to Nakagawa as he stands in waiting on the offering from Ozeki. Ozeki gets the sign from his catcher, Kai, and he works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. They square to bunt, and pulling back is Nakagawa, but they look to go down to third base, and getting back in time is Wakatsuki. Very interesting there. Wakatsuki started to wander down the baseline just a little bit too far. They fire down to the third base, or almost wanted to follow down to the third base line, but the runner goes diving back safely. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nakagawa. I thought we might have saw this the last time when Kirby-Ashi was at the plate. Rather than grounding into the double play, I thought possibly he might have even considered maybe putting something down. But that is the way it goes. So here we go. Here comes the offering here, the 1-0 pitch now to Nakagawa. As the lefty Ozeki works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. It squirts away from the catcher, Kai. He's able to keep it in front, and nobody is able to advance. So 2 balls and no strikes. So as some of our friends in the chat earlier were saying about how the first game or the game over in Tokyo was going rather slowly, this game here now has maybe packed up the baton, and it's slowed down a little bit too, as we are here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. It is a 1-0 Orix lead, and they're threatening to add more. They've got runners on the corners with 1 gone. Ozeki leans in. He gets the side from his catcher, Kai. He comes to an agreement with the pitch as he nods, and now he comes set. And here's the 2-0. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count's now 3-0. Well, not a good time for the Fukuoka pitchers to forget how to throw strikes. The dangerous Masataka Yoshida is on deck. He also has a hit in this ball game tonight. 5 hits now on the docket for the Buffaloes. As the lefty Ozeki holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Nakagawa had started to make his way down the first baseline, but the hand of the right hand of the home plate umpire was drawing him back in. So 3-1 now to Nakagawa. The runner at first is Mune. The runner at third is Wakatsuki. There's 1 gone here in the 5th inning. 3 balls and 1 strike to Nakagawa. He's waiting here on the offering from Ozeki, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count now runs full to Nakagawa. Boy, that was a pitch I think I would want back. I bet you Nakagawa would want it back too. That was middle away. I bet you could be able to drive the other way. At the bare minimum, be able to possibly get a run in, because the defense right now, as we said, it's the runner is being held at first base. The third baseman is even with the bag. The corners are halfway. They're looking to hunt a double play in the middle of the infield. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. It'll be interesting to see if they put Mune in motion to stay under the double play. Maybe a possible delay because it is lefty. And now Nakagawa has asked for time as he feels that the pitcher Ozeki has taken too much of his time. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ozeki again gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go back at it. Nakagawa waiting on the 3-2 offering. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And down to second goes Mune as they were able to stand to the double play. He is going to get a stolen base, as it looks like that Takuya Kai is not going to challenge that. So now we've got a similar situation like we had in the 2nd inning. There are runners at 2nd and 3rd. The only difference is it's Masataka Yoshida coming to the plate. Be interested to see how they're going to approach this one, if they're going to just hold the 4 fingers and put him on, or if they're going to intentionally walk him. I know if it was me, I'd probably put him on, but they are going to have a visit from the pitching coach. Probably going to talk about how they want to attack Yoshida. Yoshida was 2nd in the Pacific League in batting average. Ended the season behind Go Matsumoto with a .335 average. He's also got 21 homers and 88 RBIs. And that's exactly what Fujimoto is going to do. He walks out of the dugout, holds the 4 fingers up to the umpire. Yoshida is going to get a walk. They're going to say, let Yuma Tongu try to beat us. We don't want Masataka Yoshida to do it. So Yoshida gets the 4-finger walk from the manager Fujimoto, and that's going to set the bases loaded with Yuma Tongu striding to the plate. Well, in the first 4 innings, the Buffaloes have stranded 4 runners aboard. They've got the bases loaded here with 2 gone in the last half of the 5th inning. Even though the crowd is not in a full house at the Kyocera Dome, they are in full voice, and they also are in good spirit. They are cheering their Buffaloes on here as they are looking to pad their lead. So Yumatagu tonight is 0 for 2. He has popped to the catcher and he popped to the shortstop. Both of the balls he's put in play have been in the air. So here comes the first offering from the lefty Ozeki, who works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. The count's 1-0. Just as a reminder, when we have everybody's attention, we are going to be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night with game 2 of the series. So hopefully if you're up late night or if you're getting up early in the morning on the East Coast of North America, be sure to check us out. So we'll bring you all the action of this series until it's done. And then if need be, we'll bounce over and pick up the other series as well. There is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0 to Tongu. There's nowhere to put him. As the bases are loaded, he's going to have to get himself a good pitch to hit here. So 2 balls and no strikes. The lefty Ozeki on the hill here, ready to offer up a pitch to the right-handed hitting Yumatagu. And he steps off the backside of the rubber, and we're going to have to do this again. Well, our friend Jose pops in here. He says, what's the score? Well, first of all, Jose, there's a ticker running across the bottom of your screen. It'll give you the score line. But we thank you for being here. So 2 balls and no strikes to Yumatagu. Here's the pitch from Ozeki. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes to Tongu. There's nowhere to put them. The bases are loaded here with 2 gone in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Ozeki has come in and picked up right where Ishikawa left off, and that is having trouble finding the strike zone. So they are in jeopardy of putting another runner in. If I'm Tongu, I probably got the bat planted on my shoulder for the next 2 pitches. Let's see if he can throw you a strike. So here comes the 3-0. I don't think I'm green lighting Tongu based on the first couple of swings we've seen in this one. The pitch is delivered. It's a fastball that misses down and in. And just as the Buffalo scored their first run, it's a bases loaded walk that is going to bring in the runner from third. That's Wakatsuki. It's going to make the scoreline 2-0. It's going to keep the bases loaded as Yoshida will advance to second and Mune goes to third. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Masahiro Nishino. So both of the RBIs in this ball game have come from bases loaded walks. 1 for Sugimoto and 1 for Tongu. So the Buffaloes have not really had to swing the bats. They've just had to get the walks. So in the ball game now for both of these teams, and the Buffaloes have been the beneficiary of 6 walks in this game. 1 was intentional. 4 issued by the first pitcher Ozeki. Now the second walk issued by, the starter Ishikawa. Now 2 by Ozeki. So here comes the offering from the lefty Ozeki, who delivers a fastball that misses inside for a ball. The count is 1-0. And now Takuya Kai has asked for time as he's going to go out to the mound to have a word with his lefty, who has had a difficulty throwing strikes. Ozeki on the season had worked 101 1/3 innings, and he had walked only 28 batters. Well, he's got 1 intentional walk in this inning, and he's walked 1 as well. So he's good for 1 every 4 innings. But his command and his control of his pitches so far have not been on song. So the SoftBank Hawks have some work to do here. While the conference on the mound is over, as Takuya Kai is heading back to the plate. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Nishino. As the left-handed hitter is waiting the offering from the left-handed pitcher, Ozeki. And now he works to the set position. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. One would have to think that manager Fujimoto's got to get somebody up in the bullpen here. Ozeki just doesn't seem to have it. He has thrown 15 pitches so far, and 9 of them have been for balls. So here comes the 3-2-0 offering to the left-handed hitting Nishino, and it's a fastball that misses inside, and it's now 3-0. Well, Nishino tonight has walked his first 2 times up. He's looking to walk for the 3rd time. If he does that, he's going to also drive in a run. So some craziness going on here. And I know that there's some people that were playing the over-under a little bit earlier on. I said, in my opinion, I made my prediction at the beginning of the game that I felt that the scoreline here was going to be either a 5-1 or 5-2 ball game for the Buffaloes. But if you would have asked me that this is how the Buffaloes would have scored some of their runs, I would have said, no way. So here's the 3-0 pitch. It's a fastball that carves the plate right in half, and now the count is 3-1 to Nishino. So 3 balls and 1 strike. The Buffaloes have added to their lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's now 2-0. As the left-handed hitting Nishino waits on the offering from Ozeki. And here's the 3-1. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count's now 3-2. Well, everybody's going to be in motion here as it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's 2 gone here in the 5th inning. Runners will be off on the pitch. So Takuya Kai gives his sign to his pitcher Ozeki, who nods in agreement as he works set. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. The runners are on the move. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4. Another run via a free pass. It's now 3-0 here. It's going to advance Tongu over to second. Yoshida will go over to third, and cashing in the run is Yumamune with the 2nd run of the inning and the 3rd run of the ball game. Now, Ozeki's got himself in a whole host of issues, and that's going to bring out the pitching coach to the mound. He's coming out to take the ball from his young left-hander as his day is about to be finished. And as they are about to make this pitching change, we're going to take a little break over here. We've got Joe over here. He's sweating out on the 5.5. I have a feeling you're going to be sweating here for a bit. I don't know if that's for the first 5 innings or for the whole part. But hang tight, everybody. We're going to be back here in just a couple moments as they make a change. Ozeki's day is done. We'll be back and we'll get you all the action in just a couple moments. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. They are making a pitching change, and it is going to be Keisuke Izumi coming into the ball game. The right-hander is, in the regular season, had 30 appearances. He had an 0-2 record. He worked 29 innings. He allowed 24 hits, 9 walks, and 25 strikeouts. He had an ERA of 3.72. So the young right-hander, the 25-year-old, in his appearance here in the series, Izumi is taking over. Be the 3rd pitcher used by the Hawks in this one. So he is going to be taking over. It was only a 1/3 of an inning worked by Ozeki, and he was only able to retire 1, and that was the strikeout to Kai Nakagawa. Outside of that, he walked 3 hitters. Of course, 1 was intentionally. It goes on his record. And then the Yumamune had one single to get things going against him. So 2 runs so far across the board here. This is going to be the 8th hitter of the inning coming to the plate. It's Yataro Sugimoto. Sugimoto is 1 for 1 tonight. He has singled, he's walked, he's stolen a base, and scored a run. So Sugimoto will be facing Kazuki Izumi here in the 5th inning with the bases loaded. So I think if I am Sugimoto, I want to welcome him to the game with a base hit, because you got to think he's going to try to fill up the zone quickly. So Sugimoto steps in. Izumi ready to face him here. He gets the sign from Takuya Kai. He works set to the belt and raises it to his chest. He checks the runners. And now he kicks and fires. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I talked about the high fastball earlier tonight. The home plate umpire is in love with that. I get a good kick out of that one there. He's definitely in love with the high heat, and that had stood Sugimoto up. So no balls and 1 strike. And here comes the offering from the right-hander Izumi, and it is a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count goes even to 1-1. Our friend Jose asks about how can I watch the game. Well, stick around, Jose. We'll give you some information, but you'll have to wait until the next half inning, because this game right now is hanging in the balance. They got a chance to blow it open right here. So 1 ball and 1 strike. But we'll help you out after the next half inning. When we get going, we can give you some of that information on the in-between, because we'll have a little break with what we like to call our Japanese halftime. A little extended in between the 5th and the 6th. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count's now 1-2 to Sugimoto. Boy, if I'm Sugimoto, I don't know what I'm doing up here. Come on, Sugimoto, you got to swing the bat. That pitch there was too good. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Those might be the best pitches that he's going to see all game long, or all at bat long in this case. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander gets his sign. Right-hander against the right-hander. Izumi works to the set position, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That's going to get at least 1 run in. Yoshida scores. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is cut off, and that is going to extend the lead to 4-0. On a single and an RBI by Sugimoto, he is going to cash in Masataki Yoshida with the 4th run of the ball game. Good piece of hitting by Sugimoto to stay inside the ball and go the other way. It advances Tongu to 3rd. Nishino is going to 2nd. That is going to bring up the shortstop Kotaro Kobayashi, as he's going to get an opportunity to try to add some more runs to the lead here. So Kobayashi to the plate. He's the 9th batter to come to the plate here in the inning. The bases are full of Buffaloes. So 2 gone here in the 5th inning. That's the 3rd run of the inning. It's a crooked number that the Buffaloes have thrown up on the board. And here comes the offering from Izumi. He delivers a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friends were saying it was 5.5 as the scoreline. Well, I said I was either at the beginning of the stream, I said 5-1 or 5-2 would be the scoreline in this one. So by that account, I was taking the over. I sure wouldn't have predicted this at this point on how they've got their runs. And there's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up down the left field line. It's into foul territory. There's room for the left fielder Yanagamachi, who makes the catch. And that is going to do it here in the 5th inning for the Buffaloes. Well, they got damage, and damage was done, as they had 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors, and there were 3 runners left aboard. We are now through 5 complete innings. That is the Orix Buffaloes 4 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We'll give Jose the answer to some of his questions. And we'll be right back after we get ourselves a drink of water, and we'll be right back to fill you in on some of those other things. Welcome back, everybody. Jose was in the house asking about how we can watch the game. Well, it depends on where you're at. And if you're in North America, there are a few avenues to do it, but we can't put the links in the site for you, but we can give you some direction on where to get to. There is a site called LiveQQ that you guys can go and check out. You're going to need your Google Translate all set up, and you're just going to have to scroll through some of the pages on that site to be able to get you some of that information. But it is available to you there. That is the first piece to that. The other one is you go to the NPB Reddit page, the old Reddit page. You can also see a list of links where you might be able to get some stuff up. I know in years past, DAZN in the United States used to carry the games. I don't know if DAZN is carrying the NPB these days. And of course, I always mentioned that it was ABC Hawaii. If you were in Hawaii, they used to carry the games up until a couple of years ago. And so those are some of the avenues in which you can do that. We do have the break in the action right now, but we are going to take a look. There's only one other game that's going on in the NPB. As we had mentioned before, it is the Jinju Stadium where the game is being played. It is in the top of the sixth inning, and it is now a 5-1 scoreline. The Hanshin Tigers are on the board as the Swallows jumped out to a 5-0 lead. The Hanshin Tigers have got one back. It was a 3-run homer early on in the bottom of the first inning by Osuna to put the Swallows out into the lead. They added another run in the second and the third inning. In the second inning, they scored the run on a sacrifice fly it was a single by Yamazaki, as Yamazaki was able to knock in Nagioka. And then in the bottom of the third inning was a sac fly by Santana, who knocked in Osuna for the fifth run of the ball game. Well, the Tigers ended up getting a run back. They didn't get that run back until it was the sixth inning when it was Shimada who knocked in a run, and that is going to now, and that was the pinch hitter Umeno who came in to hit. He had a double, and so that was a timely base hit in front of the center fielder by Shimada, and that cut the lead now to 5-1. The Swallows are batting in the bottom half of the sixth inning. They have that 5-1 lead. Other things that are going on in baseball, Major League Baseball, the playoffs are going on in the MLB. If we go over and we take a look at that, there were 4 games in the divisional series today. The Philadelphia Phillies knocked off the Atlanta Braves. That was a 7-6 scoreline, the only road team to win today. Sir Anthony Dominguez got the win. Max Fried took the loss. Matt Olson and Travis d'Arnaud homered for the Braves. Braves scored 3 in the ninth and were threatening for more. They came up just a little bit short to the Phillies. The late game tonight or yesterday was the San Diego Padres losing to the Dodgers 5-3. 5-6-0 for the Dodgers, 3-7-1 for the Padres. Arias got the win. Clevenger took the loss. Chris Martin got the save in relief for the Dodgers. Will Myers homered for San Diego, and Trey Turner homered for the Dodgers. In the American League, the Seattle Mariners were shell-shocked as it was Robbie Ray serving up a 3-run shot in the bottom of the ninth inning to Yordan Alvarez. And it was an 8-7 walk-off win for the Houston Astros over the Seattle Mariners. Montero got the win in relief. Ray took the loss. Suarez and Crawford homered for Seattle. It was Alvarez, Bregman, and Gurriel homering for Houston. And the other game that was a final, the Yankees beat the Guardians 4-1. 4-5-1 for the Yankees, 1-6-2 for the Guardians. Garrett Cole got the win. Cal Quantrill takes the loss. Stephen Kwan homered for the Guardians, the only run of the ball game. Rizzo and Bader homered for the Yankees. Well, everybody, Yoshinobu Yamamoto has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action here in the sixth inning. This one is ready to get back underway. And so it will be the top of the order in Masaki Momori, Yukio Shudo, and Taisi Makihara to face the ace of the Buffaloes staff. So here we go as we're ready to resume the action. Momori steps in. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out both of his times to the plate. The first pitch is a breaking ball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Momori. Momori did struggle in the series against the Lions as well. I'm curious to see if they're going to stay with him in that top spot throughout if Fujimoto has his trust, as there's a breaking ball that swung on and tap foul. And the count now goes to 0-2. 8 strikeouts in the first 5 innings for Yamamoto, as he's looking to put Mamori away for the third time here. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and a good job by Mamori to lay off of it. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yamamoto gets his sign from his catcher, and he's ready to rock into the motion. He kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to third. Mune fields it. He throws across the diamond, and that is going to retire Mamori. It goes as a ground out, 5-3 for out number 1 here in the 6th inning, and that will bring up the third baseman, Yukio Shudo. Well, for Shudo, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded to second, and he has lined out to the center fielder. Shudo gets the start at third base, batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Yamamoto, who delivers a breaking ball that falls up to the plate at about 57 feet, so the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Shudo. John Cardona says it's now 7-1 for the Swallows. After a 2-run homer, there's a fastball that is a check swing fouled away. The count is 1-1. Our friend John says it's now 7-1 for the Swallows after the 2-run homer. He says it's risky because Hanshin won't use their better relievers. Yeah, there's no sense in using your better relievers at this point. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is now 1-2 to Shudo. I would agree with John Cardona with that assessment as the game gets stretched. Also, same thing here with the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are going to have some guys trying to hold them in. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line, moving over toward the line, and making the catch is Yoshida, as he is going to haul that one in for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to Taisi Makihara. And I would agree with, as I say, I would agree with our friend John Cardona there as well, because when you look at the pitcher that's now in the ball game, it's not guys that you would think of wanting to close it out, where you look to Fuji, look to Matsumoto, or possibly Mori or Moinello. Behind, they're using their other guys. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-0. There's no lead to protect, and the lead is also now the game is starting to get stretched out a little bit. So there's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up into shallow center field. Moving back on it is the second baseman, Nishino. He slides and makes the catch, and that is going to retire Makihara for the third out of the inning. While the Hawks go quietly in their half of the 6th, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your scores, the Orix Buffaloes 4 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the bottom of the 6th inning when we return after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes. That means it's going to be Kenya Wakatsuki, then the top of the order, Shuhei Fukuda and Yuma Mune. 81 pitches for the right-hander Yoshinobu Yamamoto through his 6 innings of work. One would have to think that he's probably got a couple of more innings left in him. would think that they want to ride him out for the full 8 innings that he can provide, or maybe even 9 if he can go the distance, if he stays economical. We do have a pitching change. It is going to be Maury coming into the ballgame. A little surprised to see the right-hander, although he hasn't pitched a whole lot this year. But we are getting a pitching change for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, the one-time closer and usually 8th inning setup type of guy is what Maury is. Yuto Mori is now into the ballgame. And the first pitch delivered is a fastball taken for a called strike by Wakatsuki, and the count is 0-1. Wakatsuki 1 for 2 today. He singled and scored a run his last time up. He's also struck out. So Maury on in relief. He's got 2 wins and 4 losses. Ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. He's 2-4 on the year. He worked 34 and a third innings, only appeared in 29 games. He allowed 30 hits. He'd walked 12 and struck out 27. He posted a nice ERA of 2.62. So here's the 1-1 pitch as he delivers a fastball, which is swung on and grounded over to third. Fielded by Shuto. He fires across the diamond. That is going to retire Wakatsuki on a ground out 5-3 for out number 1. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Shuhei Fukuda. Well, for Fukuda, he's 0 for 2 tonight. He had grounded to first, and he has flown to center. He did have a sacrifice bunt his last time up. He's looking to get things going here for the Buffaloes in their half of the 6th. And here's the pitch from Maury. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Fukuda. Fukuda waggling the bat, waiting on the offering here from Maury, who kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch that misses down and away, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The Buffaloes are right now in a position where they are in a commanding lead. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. Probably would look to just chip away a little bit here. And as we said, with their AC Yamamoto on the mound, it's a tough night at the office to begin with for the Hawks. And not only is the starter, he might end up being just their closer too. They might go the distance with him. There's a pitch. It is a split finger pitch down, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We've got Veggie Weggy in the house, wanting to know how many outs there are. There's 1 gone here in the 6th inning. On a 2-2 count to Shuhei Fukuda as the right-hander Maury works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count now runs full to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jose's back in the house here. He's asking some questions and says, is there anybody on base? No, there isn't. We've got 3-2 here. Here comes the 3-2 offering. It is a fastball swung on. It is topped over to the shortstop, Imamiya. He's got to hurry. He fires to first, and it's in time to retire Fukuda, who gets down the line in a pretty good hurry. That goes down as a ground out 6-3 as he is out for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Well, for Mune tonight, he was singled and stole a base his last time up. He also has struck out, and he has flown to left field. So Mune here waiting on the offering now from the right-hander Maury, who holds at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up into shallow left center field. Coming over on it is Yannick Amachi. He's got time and space, and he's going to make the grab, and that is going to do it here as Mune is retired for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Buffaloes go quietly in their half of the 6th inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're now through 6. It is the Buffaloes 4 and the Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 7th inning in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for being here with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the 7th inning. And just a reminder, don't forget to bookmark the page so that you guys can come on back again tomorrow night. If you hit the bell, it'll give you the notification of when we are going to be going live. We will be calling every game in this series, so same time, same place tomorrow night. It is the heart of the batting order coming up for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. It'll be Yuki Yanagita, Alfredo Despaigne, and Akira Nakamura to face the right-hander Yamamoto, who delivers a first pitch fastball that is swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Yanagita. Yanagita tonight is 0 for 2. He has struck out and lined to second in his 2 trips to the plate. The right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses up and away for a ball, and the count is now even at 1-1. At this pace here, we're looking for a rematch of the 2021 Japan series, as it featured the Buffaloes and the Yakult Swallows. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 2-1, but there's a long way to go in this series. As we mentioned, it's 6 games slated. They're going to be playing every single night for the next 6 days, potentially. The Buffaloes are spotted a 1-0 lead in the head start. They got to win 3 games to move on. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to first. It is fielded neatly by the first baseman, Tongu, who races over and steps on the bag ahead of Yanagita. It's a ground out to 3 for out number 1, and that'll bring up Alfredo Despaigne. So as we mentioned, it's basically a 6-game series, but the Buffaloes are spotted a 1-0 lead in the series. They got to win 3 to move on, whereas the Hawks actually have to win 4 to move on. So their first team to win, if they win 4 or the other one wins 3, then that's how it works. There's a breaking ball delivered to Despaigne. It was taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. Despaigne tonight is 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also flown to the right fielder. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that is swung on and missed. 95 miles an hour up in the zone, and it's now 0-2 to Despaigne. One would have to think that Yamamoto is going to come back with his famous split here. Let's see if he does it, and it's the Cuban right-hander to chase. Here comes the 0-2 offering. It is a fastball that comes under the hands and just backs the hitter off the plate. Runs the count now to 1-2. Now let's see if he goes away this time, as he was able to move him off, and now if he can move him away. So here comes the pitch. And now there's a fastball again. They come inside, and it just misses, and the count's now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander Yamamoto goes back to work. He gets the sign from Kai, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 3-2. You certainly don't want to start getting into the business of walking hitters. They're down to 8 more outs to go in this game. So let them swing the bat and not put the runners on base via the walk. Here's the 3-2 pitch as Yamamoto rocks into the motion and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to second. Nishino has been busy in the recent innings. He throws to first. It's going to be a ground out 4-3 as Despania is retired for out number 2. It's going to leave it all up to the first baseman, Akira Nakamura. That is 8 hitters in a row retired now by Yamamoto. He is in a groove here in the 7th inning. 91 pitches for the Orix right-hander. As now stepping in is the left-handed hitting first baseman, Nakamura. Nakamura has definitely had his number tonight, as he has 2 singles against the right-hander. And the first pitch is a split-finger pitch, swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakamura. Nakamura singled in the 2nd, singled in the 5th, and he was stranded at second base. As there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 0-2. In fact, in the 5th inning, Despania and Nakamura went back-to-back with their singles. And then it was the Yamamoto show. He was able to retire the final 3 hitters that he faced. So here's the 0-2 pitch as he delivers a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. You can tell Yamamoto didn't like that call. He wanted that to be rung up for strike 3. Instead, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Very similar to the last at-bat where the Thani had Nakamura. But Nakamura was able to get a base hit single. So here's the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. Racing over and making the catch is Nakagawa. He gets it on the run in the right center field gap, and that is going to do it for out number 3. Well, for the Hawks in their half of the inning, there was no runs, no hits, and no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 6.5 innings. It is a 4-0 lead for the Buffaloes. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few for your call at the bottom of the 7th inning. Thanks for being here with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning, and coming to bat for the Buffaloes will be Kai Nakagawa, Masataki Yoshida, and Yuma Tongu, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Buffaloes. It is a 4-0 scoreline, 4-6-0 for the Buffaloes, 0-3-0 for the Hawks. No errors in this one. It is going to be a reliever coming in for the Fukuoka Ball Club. This is going to be yet another pitcher in the pitching parade to be used. This is going to be Kaino, who is on in relief. This is Hiroshi Kaino. 27 appearances during the year. He's 2-0. 25 innings pitched, 19 hits allowed, 14 walks, 27 strikeouts, and an ERA of 2.52. So Kaino on in relief. The 4th pitcher, checked out the 5th pitcher used tonight by the Buffaloes. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike by Nakagawa. The count is 0-1. I should say by the Hawks used against the Buffaloes. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Hiroshi Kaino on in relief. And here comes the 1-1 offering. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count now goes to 1-2 on Nakagawa. Nakagawa tonight has a single in 2 trips. He's also had a walk and scored a run. So he's been aboard twice. He did get thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double back in the first inning. As the right-handed stick waiting on the offering here from the right-hander Kaino, who delivers a fastball which misses up and in, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As mentioned, we will be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. Hopefully you can join us. Same time, same place, same 2 teams. Hawks and Buffaloes in this one. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As the righty delivers, it is a fastball swung on. It is hook-barreled foul into the seats well back in the lower bowl, and the count remains at 1-2 to Nakagawa. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The righty Kaino works to the set position as he gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to deliver. He delivers a pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third. Fielded by Shudo, who throws to first. And what a great pick by the first baseman, Nakamura. That's going to retire Nakagawa on a ground out 5-3. Shudo had to come up firing. He was able to do that, and then it was the pick by the first baseman. He threw that ball on a long hop, and a nice play by the first baseman, Nakamura, to come through the ball and get it. That is going to retire Nakagawa for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up Masataka Yoshida. Well, for Yoshida, he is 1 for 2 today. He's got a single in 2 trips. He's also been intentionally walked and scored a run. He had .335 in the regular season. He's picking up where he left off at the end of the regular season. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Yoshida. Our friend Veggie Weggie says, how's your night been? Night's been pretty good so far. No complaints. Just a little bit tired at this point now. There's a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike. I'm not sure what is going on there. First of all, Takuya Kai didn't catch the ball. And then there was a late call by the home plate umpire as the ball squirted away. That's one thing that always drives me nuts is you got to be able to catch the ball, earn the catch. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Yoshida. If you're going to get the strike call, you got to make sure your catcher earns it for you. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Masataka Yoshida. No sign of any action in the Buffaloes bullpen yet. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the right-hander holds to the set position, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We also appreciate everybody who listens in on Twitch as well. We call both games on Twitch and on YouTube. So if you're listening on either platform, we appreciate that. So here comes the 2-2 offering as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is golfed into deep right field. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble, and this ball is gone. A home run for Yoshida. That is going to extend the Buffaloes' lead to 5-0. As he is rounding the bases here, he hits the home run off of Kaino for run number 5. The Buffaloes have that lead. I know our friends that are in here are wondering if it's going to be the over or the under. Well, right now, I think they're still sitting on the under in this one. But as this progresses here, the runs just keep adding up. And our friend John Cardona, who was in here earlier, said about the other ball game where some of the relievers that are going to be used aren't as good. Well, that could be applied here now, too. One would have to think that you're not going to see the better guys. So there are going to be chances for the Buffaloes to continue to put runs on the board. So Kaino delivers a first pitch fastball down low to Yumatango, and the count is 1-0. Tongu tonight is 0 for 2. He had a walk as well. So our friend Jose says he needs one more run, and Veggie Weggy says he had the tie in the 7th. Well, the tie is broken. So Jose is looking for a couple of runs to be had here. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Yuma Tongu. It's definitely been the theme of this one. Difficulties throwing strikes, too many walks by the Fukuoka pitchers. And there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Certainly there won't be any rainouts in this series, as all the games are going to be indoors at the Kyocera Dome. Same can't be said for the other series, as there's a breaking ball swung at and fouled away, and the count is now 2-2. Jinju Stadium is an outdoor stadium, and if there is rain in the area, it would affect those games that are being played there. As we said, we're going to call every single game of this series. And if the other series continues to go further, or further than this one, then we would bounce over and pick up those ones. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses way upstairs, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tongu. Right-hander Kaino has certainly struggled here a little bit. First of all, the first hitter Nakagawa battled him to a 2-2 count before he got the ground out. And he served up the home run, and now there's a split-finger pitch swung on and fouled away by Tongu. Tongu swung at ball 4 on that pitch. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tongu. He had an RBI his last time when he walked. No such position right now for him here. He's going to have to swing the bat, or he's going to have to draw the walk. Here's the 3-2. It's a breaking ball that misses up and in. That's going to be ball 4. Yet another walk by the Hawks tonight. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Masahiro Nishino. Well, speaking of walks, Nishino has been the beneficiary of those for the Hawks. He has walked 3 times tonight. One of them he drove in a run because he walked with the bases loaded. 5-0, the Buffaloes have the lead here in this one. I hate to say it, but it looks like it's a formality now with the way that Yoshinobu Yamamoto has pitched. So here comes the first offering to Nishino. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. As we said, and as I'm looking at the walk totals so far in this one, if my math is correct, then I would have to say that it looks like we had 8 walks in this ball game, and you're not going to win many games when you issue 8 free passes. There was a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-0. But I'm just going to have to go back and do my quick math on this. So 2 balls and no strikes to Nishino, as the right-hander is ready to go back to work. Here comes the offering from Kaino. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So 4 walks in this ball game were issued to the starter Ishikawa. Then it was 3 to Ozeki. That gives us 7 walks from them. And then already a walk here from Kaino, which makes it number 8, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is now 2-2 to Nishino. So it is 8 walks officially on the books from the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk pitchers. You're not going to win many games if you're walking that many at any level of play. I don't know if you could beat a T-ball team if you allow that many walks. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander holds set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The left-handed hitting. Nishino now waiting on the offering. The runner at first is Tongu. He gets his lead. And now asking for time is the hitter Nishino, and he's going to have to reset himself. So here we go. Here comes the 3-2 offering as the right-hander kind of holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nishino. This is getting into the late night portion of the game for us. Is not only is it late night here, it is 4:37 Pacific. If you're on the North American West Coast, it's 7:37 or 7:38 now on the East Coast. And so most people are starting their day either going to work or on their way to work or at work. We appreciate you guys for all tuning in. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lined right to the first baseman who makes the catch. And he walks over and steps on the base to double off Yuma Tongu. Tongu has no chance. Nishino hit that one right on the screws. It's a double play to the first baseman. He's out for out number 2, retiring Tongu for the 3rd out, as he has retired on that double play. And that is going to do it here in the 7th inning. Well, there was 1 run in the inning. It was the home run by Yoshida. There was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 7 complete. It is a score line of 5-0. I got to tell you, it looks like Nakajima is coming out. I wonder if they're going to the bullpen. So we're going to find out when we get back in a minute, or where the changes are going to be. But he has come out to talk to the umpire. We'll see if Yamamoto returns when we come back. Appreciate you guys for being here. I could change the dynamics of this one a little bit. We'll be right back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. It's a 5-0 lead, but we're going to take this little break, and we'll come on back in 30 seconds. We'll give you all the action, and we'll let you know where the changes have been made after we return. Welcome back, everybody. Well, Yamamoto is still in the ball game, and he delivers a first pitch fastball to Kenta Imamiya for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Imamiya tonight has got an 0-for-1. He's struck out, and he had a sacrifice bunt as he swings at a fastball and fouls that one off his shin. The count's now 0-2. Looks like the change wasn't obviously on the mound because Yamamoto is still out there, but it looks like it was a defensive change for the Buffaloes. It looks like Oshiro is in the ball game. I'm not sure exactly where Koji Oshiro is at. If we put him at shortstop or if they've got him at second base. There is a breaking ball that misses, and the count is 1-2 to Imamiya. We'll get that for you as it becomes available once we find out where Oshiro is stationed, but he is in the ball game. There's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Imamiya. 95 pitches through through 7 innings for Yamamoto. He's already got 4 under his belt here. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Imamiya for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that is going to bring up the left fielder, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. It is 10 hitters in a row retired now by the Buffalo right-hander, as he has not allowed anybody to reach base since Imamiya was out on a sacrifice bunt back in the 5th inning. So here we go. Here comes the offering from the right-hander who delivers a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Yanagamachi. Yanagamachi tonight is 0 for 2. He grounded out to first. He's also struck out his 2 trips to the plate. And there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So not wasting any time is Yamamoto. He is out there throwing strikes and tying up the hitters. That is for certain. Does look like Oshiro has gone into second base, as he is going to be replacing Masahiro Nishino. So Oshiro for Nishino pretty much straight up in the batting order. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Yanagamachi hits an 0-2 fastball for a single. And he is aboard with a 1 out here, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai. Well, for Takuya Kai tonight, he is 0 for 2 against the Orix right-hander. He has struck out both of his times to the plate. But it looks like we may have ourselves a pinch hitter, and that's exactly what it is. We've got Yurizabel Graciel coming in. As Takuya Kai's night is done, Graciel did not get the start, obviously. So Graciel here waiting on the offering from the right-hander Yamamoto, who drops in a breaking ball for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Interesting to see if Graciel will stay in the ballgame. I would hazard a guess no. He's not necessarily a defensive gem or a jewel. He's more of a liability, but certainly down by the 5 runs, give him an opportunity to swing the bat. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. The count is now 0-2. Last pitch was of the split finger variety, but when Yamamoto releases it, and he released it low 3/4. That ball has arm side run to it. Not only was it dropping, it was absolutely a filthy pitch. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. The right-hander holds set. And now he delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As we were mentioning earlier on, the series is 6 games in length. The Buffaloes start off with a 1-0 lead. So if they win 3, they win the series. If the Hawks win 4, they win the series. So they got to take 4 out of 6. So here's the 0-2 pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2 to Graciel. Isabel Graciel, the Cuban, had played a little bit in North America, but he had played in the Can-Am League, an independent league that comprised teams of the northeastern United States and in Canada. So that was where he had played his ball in North America. There was a fastball that misses way upstairs. Good decision by the catcher to Wakatsuki to force him to go up the ladder. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander Yamamoto checks the runner over at first, and he works into the set position. Here comes the offering. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses way outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. For those of you who've hung in with us here tonight, we do appreciate that as well. It is, as we said, a late night, so we do get some of the midnight folks that are working. Now it's getting into the breakfast special on the East Coast. Here comes the 2-2 as Yamamoto delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball's lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit right in front of Yoshida. So this game is far from over yet, as the Hawks are showing late signs of life. That's a single there. That puts runners at first and second. It's going to bring up the top of the order, and it's going to bring the pitching coach out of the Buffalo's dugout as he's going to come out and have a few words with his star right-hander, Masaki Momori, who comes to the plate. Momori has had no luck against Yamamoto today. He has struck out twice and grounded to third. He's going to see if a fourth time is a charm for him. As we watch that swing there by Risbel Graciel, he did a good job of getting on time with the pitch. A little bit more to the pull side than probably he would care to. Like it was a little bit of a long swing, and they're going to run for him. So we do have a runner at first base. We'll try to get you that as quickly as we can. So Graciel, just as quickly as he came in, his night is over. It looks like it is Neosato who is on to run. There's a fastball swung on his tap, slowly foul just past the bag at first base. The count is 0-1 to Masaki Momori. Mori tonight, as we said, 0 for 3. He's got 2 strikeouts to his name, and he's also grounded to third. Batting here with 1 gone and 2 runners aboard in the 8th inning. Buffaloes need 5 more outs. They will win this series as long as they can not allow the Hawks to tire back up. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to first. And the only play by Tongu is going to be to first. He had to come off the bag, and he had to get to his right. And he is going to retire Mori on a ground out to third. It is going to move the other runners up a base. It's going to move Yamazaki over to third. It's going to run the pinch runner, which is Neosato, over to second. Now that's going to leave it up to Yukiya Shudo. Well, for Shudo tonight, he is 0 for 3. He's grounded to second. He's lined to center, and he is flown out to left. Our friend Jose says, is the over 5.5 dead? It's not dead yet. So there's a breaking ball that drops into Shudo, and the count is 0-1. So if you've taken the over, start chewing your nails. If you've got the under, keep chewing your nails because it's under the 5.5 right now. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, does Yamamoto. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. Count is 0-2. Both teams are running out of times to score some runs. Runners are at second and third here. The runner Yanagamachi at third and the runner Sato at second. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Yukio Shudo. And here comes the 0-2 as Yamamoto kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yamamoto ready to go at it again here, as he gets the sign from his catcher, Wakatsuki. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And Shudo is down on strikes for out number 3, and that will do it here in the 8th inning. They had no runs. They had a pair of hits. There was no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is the Orix Buffaloes 5 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. No score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 8th inning when we return after this. Appreciate you for all listening in. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the eighth inning coming up for the Buffaloes, and they are slated to bring up the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. It'll be Sugimoto, Kobayashi, and Wakatsuki. By the looks of it, it is going to be the end of the line for Yamamoto, as he looks like he's getting congratulations from his pitching coach and all those around. We'll be back in 30 seconds with the call right after this, as we'll see if the Hawks are going to the pen again or if it is going to be Kino for another return appearance. We'll be right back in 30. Welcome back, everybody. It was 116 pitches tonight by the right-hander Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He had 10 strikeouts to his name. He did not walk anybody. We do have yet another pitching change for the Hawks, and it is going to be Samori coming into the game. So he will be in to take over here. And this is Yuki Samori. This is his, if in the regular season, he had worked 51 ball games. He had a 4-6 record. He had 46 in the third innings, allowing 36 hits, 24 walks, 51 strikeouts, an ERA of 2.91. So here comes the first offering to Sugimoto as he kicks and delivers a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Yuki Samori on in relief. This is going to be the sixth pitcher used tonight by Fukuoka. So no balls and one strike to Sugimoto. As now he kicks and he delivers. It is a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-2. So now the home plate umpire looks like he's in hurry-up mode, as he wants to get out of here, as well as everybody else that's probably with us too. So no balls and 2 strikes, unless, of course, they are able to put a run on the board for the over for some of our listeners. And hopefully that is the case. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains 0-2. And so for the record, if you wanted to go back and listen to this at the beginning of the stream, we were predicting a 5-1 or 5-2 victory in this game for the Buffaloes. And so with that being said, I would have said in a scoreline like that at 5.5, I would have had the over. We'll see how this one plays out. There's still 6 outs left in it, at least. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Sugimoto is down on strikes for out number 1. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. So now they're down to 5 outs left in this game, potentially, for somebody to score another run. Well, for Kotaro Kobayashi today, he is 0 for 3. He has struck out. He's grounded into a double play, and he has flown out to left field. So here comes the offering. There is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kobayashi. Samori probably could have been used a couple innings earlier, as he needed some guys to come in and throw strikes. And that's exactly what he's been doing here. Here comes the 0-1 offering. That's a breaking ball swung on. It is lined just over the head of Imamiya, and it's cut off by the left fielder digging for 2. And making it in time is going to be Kobayashi, as he's got himself a double. That ball almost got up the gap. The left fielder had to come a long ways to come and get it. He was able to cut it off, and then he had to throw it back in. So a double for Kobayashi, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. I know there were some changes. I wonder if that is Yukio Shudo now out here in left field, as the left fielder had changed. But no, it's not Shudo. They double check to see exactly who it is, or maybe it was possibly Sato who had come in to run. The number is 30 on the left fielder, so I'm pretty sure that is Sato. That's exactly who it is. So now here comes Wakatsuki to the plate. The runner at second and one gone. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike to Wakatsuki. And certainly our listeners here are hoping that the Buffaloes can put this game away with a run. A couple of our listeners would be high-stepping all the way to the bank. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 on Wakatsuki. It'll be the top of the order, Shuhei Fukuda, to follow. So here comes the 0-2 offering to Wakatsuki. The pitcher holds at the belt, and now he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back just in front of the warning track is Sato. He makes the catch. He tagging and holding at second is going to be the base runner Kobayashi. So Wakatsuki is gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it up to the top of the order and Shuhei Fukuda. Well, for Fukuda tonight, he is 0 for 3, and he's had a sacrifice bunt. He grounded to the first baseman. He has flown to center and grounded to short. That's been his night at the office. So he steps in here, waiting on the first offering from the right-hander Samori. So Samori works to the set position at the belt. And now he's ready to go. He kicks and he fires. It is a breaking ball that misses way outside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. As we said, we'll give you all the games in this series. If this series wraps up early, well, then we'll have to take a look at giving us some games in that other series over in the Central League, as long as that one is going on as well. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. There is a breaking ball that misses outside. The count's now 2-0 to Fukuda. Game, as we scoreboard watch, it is still 7-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. At the Jinju Stadium, the Tokyo Yakult Swallows have the lead over the Hanshin Tigers. Hanshin was able to get in with the impressive 3-2 victory the other night over the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars to knock them out of the playoffs. And it was the Hawks who were able to sweep away the Sanamasibu Lions to win that series. And there's a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Fukuda. Just as it is, we are also kind of cheering for this game to quietly come to a bit of an end, as it is getting to be a little bit late on the West Coast, 5 a.m. now. So there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is now 3-1 to Fukuda. As we said, it's breakfast time in the East Coast. West Coast, it is time to get a nap in. So here comes the 3-1 pitch as the right-hander Samori holds set. And he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. Count remains at 3-2. So not a lot of fireworks in this game. The Masataka Yoshida home run was the 5th run of the game, but a lot of walks. And who would have thought that 3 runs would be scored on bases loaded walks? But that's what's happened in this one for sure. And that was back in the 3 of those runs, or 2 of those came in the 5th inning, and 1 was in the 4th. So here's the 3-2 pitch. And that is a fastball swung on and again fouled away over on the third base side. And this is now turning into a battle between Samori and Fukuda. Good piece of hitting by the Buffalo's left-handed stick. He really chokes up off the end of the bat. We also notice that he likes to hit in his loaded position. Puts his hands into a good launch spot. He lets his hands do the work. It's been very successful for him the last couple of seasons. So here's the 3-2 pitch. He's waiting here on the delivery from the right-hander, Samori. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up, but this is going to reach the seats behind the third base side of home plate. And the count now is 3-2. Well, the Buffaloes, by all accounts, are going to be going to the bullpen as Yamamoto's night will be done. I'm curious to see who they're going to bring in to try to shut this one down. So the runner at second is Kirbiashi. It is 3 balls and 2 strikes to Fukuoka as the right-hander holds set. And now here comes the offering. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to third. Shuto fields it. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Fukuoka on a ground out 5-3 for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here as there was no runs. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 9th inning. Your score, it is the Orix Buffaloes 5 on the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. No score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few minutes. What it looks like we do have a pitching change coming up. We'll be right back after this. Back, everybody. It is going to be Hirano taking over on the mound. Normally the closer for the Buffaloes, and he is going to be working on in relief here. I always find it interesting when the closers come into the game in non-closing situations. If they have the same concentration, this is Yoshi Hirano. We saw him in the last week of the season. He got roughed up a little bit in one of his appearances. He actually had to get yanked out of the ball game. He's got a 3-2 record. He had 28 saves on the year. There are some wholesale changes around the field as they have some defensive movement as Yoshina is out of the game. They have moved the starting center fielder Fukuoka into left. I think it's Oka, and I'm not sure who the other outfielder is. I missed who it was. But we'll see how that works out in just a moment. But Yoshi Hirano is in, as he is in a replace of Yamamoto. So the first offering delivered to Taisi Makihara is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Makihara, Yanagita, and Despania here in the 9th inning. He faced the right-hander Hirano. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. He's on trying to preserve the shutout, as the right-hander here is ready to go to work again. Hirano holds at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch swung on and fouled away. The count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And our friend Tutas Savoir has come in and also is asking for 1 run, please. Yeah, interesting that is the case. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is looped over the head of the shortstop into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And Makihara is aboard with a single. So our friends who have the over in this game, you've also got life with a leadoff single by Makihara. That's going to bring up the right fielder Yuki Yanagita. Well, Yanagita tonight is 0 for 3. He's got a strikeout. He's lined to second, and he has grounded to first. He was in good form in that Saitama series, or the Saitama Cebu Lions series, as he had a grand slam and a 3-run shot in the two of the ball games that they played. And there's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is now no balls and 1 strike to Yanagita. Right-hander against the left-hander. Rano holds at the belt. And he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And now the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Yanagita. As the reminder programming note, back on for the same 2 teams tomorrow night. Hopefully you could be there with us. Be sure to bookmark the channel, and that'll give you an opportunity. If you hit the bell, you'll know when we go live. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. When you do that, you'll be able to pick it up at that point there. Our friend Jose says, see you later to his 2K. Well, you never know, because it is late here. He said he should have hedged. Well, you never know what happens. We still got Yanagita at the plate. He can, with 1 swing, put the ball into the seats. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-2. And personally speaking, as I said at the beginning of the stream tonight, I figured a 5-1 or a 5-2 victory would be in store for the Buffaloes. So that would have exceeded your piece there. But definitely the starting pitchers tonight, or at least one of the starting pitchers, really did his job. There's a fastball that just misses out off the outside corner, and the count is 2-2. You can tell Wakatsuki didn't like the pitch because pitch was there and he kind of didn't like it, and he just kind of hopped in the air. But Harano was shocked that he didn't get the call. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yanagita. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 3-2. Well, they got a runner at first. There's nobody out here in the 9th inning. The Hawks still are threatening, and you think about the Mariner and Astro game today. It was a 3-run walk-off homer by Yordan Alvarez. Well, they got some work to do here to catch up to that. There's a fastball taken for a called 3rd strike. Yanagita stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 1. He is gone for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Alfredo Despania. Well, for Despania, he is 1 for 3 today. He's got a single in his 3 trips to the plate. And here's the first offering from Morano. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Despania has had a good finish to his season, as he hit .269 this year with 14 homers and 40 runs batted in. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, is grounded over to second. They go to the shortstop covering for 1, back to first. That's going to be an inning-ending double play, and that's going to do it here. 4-6-3 in the books as Despania's gone out for out number 3. There was no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. Your final score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks losing to the Orix Buffaloes 5-0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back to wrap this one up in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to give you the out-of-town scoreboard as well as the recap of this one. So just a real quick rundown. Obviously, only one other game going on in the NPB tonight. And in the Jinju Stadium in the top of the ninth inning, the Tokyo Yakult Swallows have a 7-1 lead over the Hanshin Tigers. The big blow in that game was a 3-run homer back in the first inning by Jose Ozuna. That got things rolling for the Swallows. They added runs in the second and third inning to take a 5-0 lead. The rest of the scoring all came in the sixth when the Tigers got one back, and then the Swallows knocked in another couple of more, and that is where it stands in that one. That was Santana hitting the 2-run shot in that sixth inning. Well, in the ball game tonight, all the scoring was done by the Orix Buffaloes. The Buffaloes got their first run on the board in the fourth inning. A leadoff walk to Kai Nakagawa was followed by a single by Masataki Yoshida. Then after it was Yumatango's pop out to short, it was Masahiro Nishino walking, and then Yutaro Sugimoto walked with the bases loaded to bring home the game's first run. In the fifth inning, it was more of the same. It was a leadoff single to Wakatsuki, and he was sacrificed over to second. Yumamune had a single, and then he stole second base, so they had runners at second and third. Kai Nakagawa struck out. Then Masataki Yoshida was intentionally walked. And then back-to-back walks to Tongu and Oshiro brought in 2 more runs. And then Yutaro Sugimoto knocked in his second run of the game with a single to make the score 4-0. They added one more to their tally in the seventh inning as Kai Nakagawa had grounded out to begin the inning, but then it was a solo shot homer by Masataki Yoshida to make the score 5-0, and that's where the game was a final. Masterful pitching performance by Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He went 8 innings, striking out 10, walking none, and then it was Yoshi Hirano who came in for the ninth inning to close the deal. All right, everybody, once again, we appreciate you for listening in tonight. Again, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night, same time, same place, 2 a.m. Pacific, 5 a.m. Eastern. Hopefully you guys can come back and join us for Game 2 of this series. Once again, it's been another Last Wraps Baseball video production. Have a great night. Don't forget to sub and like. We'd like to see you back here again as well. Have a great night, everybody.